Test, 1, 2, test.
21 years, starting as a head boys basketball coach for 15 years, and then stepping in as AD. He coined our famous phrase, "It's a great day to be a Panther." Marty was instrumental in bringing Central York athletics into the modern era, both in facilities and competition. He has many fond memories of Central York as an alumni, an employee, and as a parent spectator. Marty, we cannot thank you enough for your years of dedication. We wish you the best in retirement and hope you come back and visit often. Marty, if we would join Mr. Ryan Billett, acting superintendent of the Central York School District, at midfield for a presentation. Given to Central York athletics, but we hope you look back on your years as a Panther fondly and frequently. From the athletes, coaches, students, staff, and administration, congratulations, Mr. Marty Trimmer, on...
Greetings and salutations, sports fans. It's Todd Edwards coming to you live tonight from Central York High School here in the broadcast booth. A little dry tonight. How about it, Dew? My broadcast partner, Dew Jones. We've taken the show inside the broadcast booth, and we're thankful for that tonight as there's a steady rain forecast for all game tonight. Temperature, game time temp, 54 degrees. It's going to be a damp, soggy, kind of dreary night, but this is kind of football weather, and it'll be interesting to see how the York High Bearcats and the Central York Panthers play tonight under these conditions. Of course, York High led by their phenomenal junior running back, Jaheim Florida White, who comes into this game with nearly 1,700 yards rushing, along with his 26 touchdowns. Will be opposed by Central York Panthers, and of course, they're led by their star quarterbacking Penn State commit, quarterback Bo Prabula tonight. It should be a great matchup. Dew, your thoughts on tonight's big matchup?
Oh, it should be a really good game between York High Bearcats versus the Central York Panthers. This is one of those games that a lot of players and a lot of the community circles on their calendar. We had the fortunate opportunity to film this game the last 4 years, pretty much the county championship. So here we are. Should be a really good game. A lot of people believe that there's an advantage that York High has with playing in the rain because they like to have that ground game, ground and pound, and Sam Stoner likes to pass a lot of short throws and get a lot of yak yards off of that. But Central, with Bo Prabula, he's a Division I type of quarterback, and he's going to be he's well maintained. He trains for things like this. I think he'll be okay in the rain. You may not see as many throws, but you're still going to see an aggressive attack from Central. And again, you can't forget about Jaheim White, number four for York High. Only a junior, but getting a lot of D1 looks, high D2 looks, and lightning speed. And it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays tonight in this downpour.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jaheim White. Junior quarterback Sam Stoner leads this team. They also have some players at the skill positions, Jaquez Simmons, Janaz Sims, and a Johnny Jeshire. Players to keep an eye on for the York High Bearcats. We mentioned Bo Prabula for the Central York Panthers. Keep an eye on wide receiver Trayshawn Smith, Parker Hines, another wide receiver, Mir Manigault. Of course, tonight a big injury on that defensive side of the ball for for Central, as Carter Glassmeyer got injured at Dallastown last week, and he will be out. In his place, Trenton Dunnick will take over the Mike linebacker position, which is essentially the middle linebacker position. The quarterback of the defense, he will be in that position tonight again for Carter Glassmeyer. And it should be a big battle tonight, containing Jaheim White, the defense for Central York Panthers. And as we are just about 10 minutes away from kickoff here, the York High Bearcats have taken to the field. They'll be in their all white jersey tops with their blue pants and orange helmets. And a sparse crowd has settled in tonight a little bit, and I would imagine, that's because of the wet weather here tonight. And we can only hope that the viewers have tuned in, with their bottled water and popcorn, and maybe sitting in front of their fireplace tonight, tuned into Sports Shooting Stars as we bring the game to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I got to give a lot of credit to York High fans and also Central fans that did brave this weather to come out and sit in this downpour that's going on right now. York High, as you can see, look at the view. York High has a lot of fans out there that came out here tonight to support their team. This game here has District 3 implications as far as seating, and and as far as where they're going to land at.
Yeah, and coming into tonight's game, of course, Central York is listed at number 1. The York High Bearcats number 4. That could change after tonight, depending upon who wins this game. Of course, Central undefeated with 9-0 record. Opposite that, York High Bearcats come into tonight's game 7-1. Their lone loss was to Governor Mifflin, their first game of the season, which my broadcast partner, Dew Jones, and I were lucky to be there to broadcast at York High as Governor Mifflin ran all over the Bearcats. And it's interesting, Dew, they start out with Governor Mifflin, the number 1 team in 5A, and finish the season with the number 1 team in 6A. Should be a great matchup tonight. And while we have a moment, Dew, I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight. We have a bevy of sponsors for tonight's game. They really wanted to be part of this big game feel. It's an epic battle tonight. We're just minutes away from taking place tonight here at Central York. Basil Insurance, our good friend Greg Basil of Basil Insurance, family owned since 1999. Basil Insurance has affordable insurance and has been sponsoring us for the past 4 seasons. And you see some of the smoke coming out from the tunnel here, and I have a feeling the Central York Panthers are going to be soon making their way out to the playing field here. Also want to make mention of our other sponsors tonight: Integrity First Home Buyers, S3 Performance Training, Prestige Motor Cars of York, United Lutheran Church right here in York, the York Area Flag Football League, Parma's Pizza of Dallastown, and with that, welcome to the jungle place here at Central York Stadium as the Central York Panthers make their way on the field, wearing their all orange jerseys tonight with white helmets. On senior night, as we were here pre-game, they announced close to a dozen players, I believe, seniors for Central York, led by Bo Perbola.
And as you said earlier, Central York has lost around 20 seniors from last year, but they have not a young crowd, but a young team, but they have a lot of juniors and sophomores on the team, a few seniors, of course, but they lost 20 seniors last year, but, they're still undefeated, they're still rolling, they're doing a great job, maintaining and holding down the fort. And tonight, I know a lot of people think that York High has a lot to prove, but I think tonight Central York has a lot to prove as well. It's a lot of hype around this game, and I think they want to show that they're still dominant in the area, but you can't sleep on York High. York High's only loss this year was against Governor Mifflin, and they're number 1 at 5A, number 1 in the state, and they also tout the number 1 running back in the country with Nicholas Singleton.
Oh, Nick Singleton. We had the pleasure of seeing him on our opening broadcast here when they played York High, as I mentioned, and great game. And this game's going to live up, I think, to the same magnitude tonight, we hope. Under these wet weather conditions, we're going to be getting set for the playing of our national anthem here. And again, we want to thank the fans and sponsors for helping broadcast this game tonight. Without our sponsors, we couldn't do this, dude, from week to week, game to game.
Absolutely. Did we? I'm sorry, Todd. Did we go over all the sponsors?
I did run through them all here before the Central York Panther team made their way out on the playing field.
Also want to give a shout out to John Uri of YAIAA, the York Adult Flag Football League. He was a sponsor earlier this season. Well, last season he was one of our sponsors, so he came back this year. And also, Parma's Pizza of Dallastown, of course.
Parma's Pizza with Darren Bonaquisti, yeah. And Dallastown has a big game tonight. They're on the road at Red Lion at Horn Field. We hope to get some updates from the games from around the league, and we'll keep you posted, of course, from other scores on Week 10, the final week of the regular season, as a lot of teams here, at least these 2 teams, will get ready for districts, which will begin play next week.
And walking out right now is the team captains for Central York, as well as York High. And as you can see, number 10 for Central York, Carter Glassmeyer, is out there on a crutch, pretty much a bike, as they call it, or a scooter. He had a broken fibula, I believe.
Fibula. I was there at that game last week when they were at Dallastown, and he was carted off. Anytime a player gets carted off on the field, it's not a good sign. Wishing Carter Glassmeyer a speedy recovery. Just recently, he was offered a Division I scholarship to Duquesne University.
Mm-hmm.
Captains out there for Central, it's Bo Perbola, number 1, number 8. James Jackson, number 9, Trenton Dunnick, and my partner mentioned Carter Glassmeyer.
And also want to give a shout out to Joe Fulkermer one of our sponsors tonight from United Lutheran Church, located at 408 West Market Street. You can check them out at www.unionlutheran.org. Phone number is 717-843-7897. And all our sponsors for tonight, you can see their information at our lower third on the TV screen at the bottom there. Go to reach out to them. They're very active in the community, so we really appreciate those guys that reach out to us. So make sure you give them a shout out.
Yep, we will. Looks like team captains out there, Sam Stoner for York High, Joe Nelson, Sincere Brown, try to focus in on the York High captains out there.
And at this time, we ask that everyone please rise and remove the hat. As we honor America with the flag of the national anthem by the Central York Panther Marching Band.
It's going to be interesting to see, well, we'll pick up for national anthem. There you have it, sports fans. A national anthem played by the Central York Marching Band here tonight at Central York. Mentioned heading into our playing of the national anthem with Carter Glassmeyer out. He was a tackling machine for this Central York Panther Ball Club. Came into last week's game with over 100 tackles. It'll be interesting to see how Trenton Dunnick steps into his position and how this defense will play without a Carter Glassmeyer and how they'll attack the offense led by Jaheim White.
Yeah, and Trent Dunnick, he was a starter last year, so he should fill. I mean, he's been filling in that. He should fill into that role very nicely. So don't see too much of a drop off. But as you said, Carter Glassmeyer was also in the also had a nomination for player of the year as well. So he's one of those guys that he cannot really be replaced for that Central Ball Club. But they do have a nice guy, and Trent Dunnick, who can step up and also fill that position. And like I said, York High always plays with a chip on their shoulder. They always have something to prove. I get that. And they're going to come out tonight, fired up, ready to play. As you can see, Jaheim White back there at number 4. He's situated, ready to get the kick return.
No doubt. And of course, Central's going to be kicking the ball off. They're in their all orange jerseys. They'll be moving from right to left on your television screen. And freshman kicker, number 99, Matthew Parker, getting ready to tee it up here for Central
and
York.
This is it. This is what everybody's been waiting for, Todd.
This is the game. You're
this
right,
the game.
and it's here under the elements. This is kind of how football should be played, right? Rain, snow.
And that's a freshman kicker for Central York as well.
The lone freshman for the Central York Panthers starting.
And here we are.
We're underway. And it looks like as if that will be a touchback.
Now,
York High comes out, led by their quarterback, junior quarterback Sam Stoner. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jaheim White, in the games that we covered so far this year, Jaheim White gets the ball around 19 to 20 times per a game. He rushes the ball. So expecting this rainy condition for him to get even more touches, I'm expecting around 26, 27 touches in this game tonight.
An interesting dynamic that I was down on the field pregame, It's a slick surface out there. I mean,
yes.
It is a
That's
synthetic
a turf field,
but it's a very slick surface out there. Interesting to see how the skill position
and
players play on it.
York High set up right now. Sam Stoner in the shotgun, handoff to Jaheim White.
Looking for running
tackled
room
by committee.
By Central York Panther defense. Not much going there on the first play to kick things off. Again, we mentioned they're led by their junior quarterback, Sam Stoner. At the quarterback position, Jaheim White, number 4. Florida, who has 2 Division I offers to Bowling Green and Old Dominion University. And I have a feeling as this playoff season progresses into next year, he'll get more offers. Again, the York High Bearcats offense spread out. Second
Sam
11
Stoner.
now. They give to Jaheim White again.
Right up the gut.
Going to bring up a 3rd down now for this York High Bearcat offense.
Looks like that is a 3rd and 9, Todd.
3rd and 9.
And it's what a lot of the football players call the money down.
See what they can have get dialed up here.
And expect a ground game coming from both ball clubs, especially from York High with Jaheim White. But they also like to do the bubble screens to Janai Sims and Jaquez Simmons. So keep an eye on those 2 guys as well.
Trips formation to the near side here.
They like to do a quick throw right here and pick up those yak yards, which is yards after catch. And there it is. He's staring him
Looking
down.
to throw the ball and quickly
throws
unloads
back.
and out of bounds. That was a backward pass there, and it went out of bounds.
Now, with that backwards pass, you wonder, is the ball
Officially
going
be
to
a
be
fumble,
set?
I believe.
And the ball is set at the 10-yard line.
That will bring up a 4th down now for the York High Bearcats.
And it looks like that play right there, Todd, York High wasn't on the right page, had a little miscommunication in the backfield, and that play really never developed. So, not a very successful series to start the game off, but, they have to get their feet wet, literally.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, and, they'll be back and get it on defense.
Sam Stoner, the quarterback, is their punter. Stands back and quickly gets it off. Amir Manigault back to receive it, and
that's a favorable punt.
Big time
for
field
Central
position
York
at about the 40-yard line for the Central York Panther offense, and that's kind of where they want to line up. How about it?
And that gives Central York incredible field position. They're already at the 40-yard line, and with their offense of running and throwing the ball, they'll be in field goal position or have an opportunity to score with a couple plays.
Of course, we mentioned the Central York Panther offense led by Penn State commit Bo Perbola, a senior, back in shotgun formation. Offense spread out.
Here goes Bo.
And a completion to Parker Hines down near the 30-yard line, and a completion to Parker Hines, number 5. One of the receivers to keep an eye on for the Central York Panther offense, too.
And we know the Central York Panthers, they like to run that air raid offense, and they're not going to change their game plan too much. As you can see, the very first play, Bo Perbola rolled out, passed the ball to one of his players, number 5.
Yep, Parker Hines. You also have number 4, Trayshawn Smith, another player to keep an eye on.
And this is one of those games you want to keep an eye on. Joel's Goff and also Amir Manigault, the 2 running backs for Central York.
And there it is. They give big-time hit there, dude. Johnny Walker got smacked.
And that was Isaiah Upson, number 99.
Number 99. You heard the smack the whole way up here in the
Absolutely.
broadcast
And he's only a sophomore. He blew up that line and got in there really fast.
Big time. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 right now.
Isaiah Upson with that big-time tackle. And it brings 3rd and 4. And there's Manigault.
Manigault, 1st down and more there.
And Amir Manigault is one of those running backs that's, kind of the best kept secret. It doesn't have a lot of hype around him, but he can score anywhere on the field.
And that jet sweep kind of reminds you a little bit of the old Green Bay Packers there, with that jet sweep. And they've been running that effective all season, the Central York Panther offense. A good mix of run and pass right now, and a new set of downs for the Central York Panthers with just over 9 minutes to go in a scoreless contest coming tonight from Central York High School. We thank you for tuning in to Sports Shooting Stars. It's Todd Edwards, Dew Jones.
And there goes Bo back in
Looking
position, and he's wide open.
Wide open down the left sideline and in, an easy touchdown pass and big-time catch to Joel's Goff. You mentioned it.
Yeah. Joel's Goff, number 26. He's only a sophomore. Has really good speed, and he's the featured back coming up for Central York in the years to come. But right now, he's put his skills on display so he can get open.
He made it look easy, Dew, on that pass and catch.
And
just like that, Central York's up, Dew.
And that may have been a wheel route where the running back, is in the backfield. He kind of runs out to the outside and just turns on the jets. And that's just looks like that's exactly what he did. And that was a great play call from Coach Y from Central York.
The point is in. Kick is up and good, and with that, your score, 7 Central, York High 0, And just like that, Central York landed the first punch, too.
In 5 plays, Central York had an opportunity to run the ball 40 or gain 40 yards for a touchdown. And that's got to be a little discouraging for York High, but they're going to bounce back. It's a long game. Central York is going to, punch you in the mouth to start off with, but York High can definitely punch you back. So we should see what they're going to do on their next possession.
This wet weather certainly hasn't affected this Central York Panthers offense, too.
And that's the thing. You go into this game knowing Bo likes to pass the ball and they run the air raid offense. The defense may even come in thinking that, hey, they're going to run the ball more often. And, Central York may be doing the total opposite, like, hey, you think we're going to run, but we're going to still play our same type of offense. And they already have 2 throws already to start the game.
You got a gunslinger like Bo Perbula who can not just throw the ball, but he can run real well. I mean, he has 4.5 speed, and we've seen it all season with Bo. Really a difference maker. And on that first series, he certainly made the difference there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to tell the fans, thanks for tuning in. Go check us out on the YouTube live chat where you can talk about the game as the game is progressing. And that's
and
a squib kick.
And that kick's alive. Dude, Central may have received that ball, I think. I can't believe it, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about a surprise element
and
on special teams.
And that's exactly what you do in games like this. You like to keep guys on the, keep them guessing, and that squib kick worked to perfection.
Or maybe use another boxing analogy. You got the fighter on the ropes, and right now York High's on the ropes, and back with another possessions. This high-octane Central York Panther offense.
I love to see things like that when ball clubs have some trick plays and throw some little some different cadences in there and see if the other team is ready. So I think that's really good, and that shows you that Central York is a district type of football team where they you got to do those type of things and keep the other team guessing and not knowing what's happening next.
Ball going to be set up on the 46-yard line of the Bearcat. The Panthers right now back on offense. Offense spread out.
And that's another great field position. And he's back to pass again. And that's a great tackle from the York High guys. It looks like one of the guys fell on Bo Perbula. They want to protect him to Central York.
No doubt. Roland Washington with the tackle there.
Yeah. Stephen Roland Washington, his mother Sherry Washington, also she does a lot of SAT prepping for a lot of kids in the York County and Adams County area. So shout out to Sherry Washington and their family. Stephen Roland also has a couple of D2 offers of playing football in college.
That's a 2-yard loss on that play, dude. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 with just over 8 minutes to go. Central York 7, York High 0. Trips formation on the far side. And Joel's Goff with a run is met there by a bevy of York High defenders there for
and it looks
no
like
gain.
So far, I know we're only early in the game. It's only about 5 minutes into the game. It looks like so far York High's front defensive linemen are pretty much holding their own weight and really pushing back Central York. But Central York has the advantage, I believe, in the secondary. Got to keep an eye on number 1 as well for York High, Amaj Walker. Only a sophomore. He's listed at 5'11". I know in the past I said he was about 5'8", 5'9". His mom contacted me. She wanted me to get it correct, so I want to make sure we do that. So, keep an eye out for number 1, Amaj Walker, out there on your far left.
Far side there.
Right now he's guarding Trayshawn Smith. And it's a screen.
And a screen and a completion down inside the 40, 35-30, 25-20. Dunning down inside the 10-yard line and a big passing catch there. Trenton Dunning.
And, a play like that, Todd, to be honest with you, you got to give a lot of credit to the runner, but you got to give a lot of credit to Bo Perbula. He did a great job of doing a misdirection, looking the other way and passing back for the screen. And it really faked out York High. They didn't know what that was coming, and it was a great pickup.
And right now a 1st down and goal for the Central York Panthers. And they're clearly in the driver's seat right now, dude.
And Central York right now is bringing out all the tricks that they have.
Bo rolls to his right, looking to throw the ball into the end zone. And what a... in and out of the hands.
Interesting. Looked like Bo Perbula wanted to go to number 4, Trayshawn Smith. But from my vantage point, he had another guy open, and Bo could have actually ran the ball if he wanted to, but it looked like he wanted to go to Trayshawn in that back corner.
Trayshawn looked like he was nearly going to pull that in with a one-hand catch. Brings up a 2nd down and goal for the Central York Panthers with 6:52 to go here in the opening quarter from Central York High School on a soggy night for high school football. But, as I mentioned earlier, this is kind of football weather, right? The rain, the snow, all the elements.
This is football weather, football plays, trick plays. I love it.
Quarterback keeper Bo right up the middle, down to near the 5-yard line.
And they're battling up front there between Central York's offensive line and York High's defensive line. They're battling up front. If you guys can check it out.
Well led on that offensive line by number 72, Danny Pham for Central York.
And right now it's 3rd and goal. Ball at the 6-yard line. Bo Perbula in shotgun. Looking.
Parker Hines, and it looks like he caught that.
That's a touchdown.
We're waiting for word. That's a touchdown by
That's a touchdown.
Parker Hines.
And that was good defense.
Talk about distribution here tonight. I mean, first to Jules Goff, now to Parker Hines.
Yeah, and that was good defense for number 9, Quentin Price for York High. He was guarding.
He one-on-one coverage.
One-on-one coverage, just a better catch, but it was good defense as well. And York High, and Central York is fired up, and they really kind of smacked York High in the mouth really fast. But
yes,
again, York High can score a lot of points, and they can get points on defense as well. So.
Personal foul on York High. That'll be assessed presumably on the kickoff too, but right now, big momentum swing to Central York side. Matthew Parker on for the point after attempt. Looks like some movement along the line there.
And again, Todd, a game like this, when it's a rivalry, it's going to be a lot of highs and lows. You're going to have, one ball club go up, a few points, or have the momentum, and then it can switch over very, very quickly. So while Central York does have a lead right now, they got to do a lot to keep that lead because York High is not going to give up. As clearly you can see, York High is coming off one of their best seasons so far with big wins over Coatesville.
J.P. McCaskey, and that really tore up the whole YAIAA, with the exception of that lone loss to Governor Mifflin, where we were there to broadcast that opening game. Snap is down, the kick is up, and good.
It's clean.
And with that, your score, Central York 14, York High 0 with 6:12 to go here in the opening quarter.
The game plan so far for Coach Janchik is pretty good on the offensive side. I think.
Well, even that trickery, if you will, on the kickoff. A great game plan so far, and right now Central York has a commanding lead, 14-0. But still plenty of time to go. We don't want anybody at home to kind of switch the TV dial because there's still plenty of football left here with 6:12 to go here in the opening quarter.
Just want people to know this is a rivalry. So these two ball clubs know each other. Momentum can swing either way. You haven't really got an opportunity to see Jaheim White do his thing right now. He's a kick returner. So if Central York was smart, they wouldn't kick the ball to Jaheim White. So that's one of the reasons why they probably did that squib kick off their first score.
Well, and they're going to kick, as you can see, on the own York High's 45-yard line here.
And that's a freshman kicker for Central York.
Parker. And that's going to be an easy touchback there. Jaheim White, clearly a playmaker, and you put him back in that position as a kickoff punt returner and their star running back, who comes into this game, I mentioned earlier, with nearly 1,700 yards rushing.
Amazing.
26 touchdowns. And they've been able to bottle him up right now. But then again, they've only had one possession so far.
I mean, for the time being, they have an opportunity to contain Jaheim Florida White. But you can't contain him throughout the whole game. You know he's going to get his. You just got a limit to what he does.
Central York has won the past 2 contests here against York High.
Expect a heavy dose of Jaheim White in this series.
And the give is to Jaheim White, looking for running room right
he's
up the middle.
Gone.
And
he's gone.
He could be gone. He's going to make
he's
that
gone.
cut.
He's
down
not
the
going to
left
be caught.
sideline, 40.
He's not going to be caught.
35, 30, 20, and 5. Touchdown,
exactly.
Jaheim White. And just like that, York High's back into this.
And we said that once you got in the open field,
touchdown run.
You're not going to catch him in the open field. If he has to beat one guy, he's going to beat that one guy.
Yeah, he gets the whole, as evident there, he's gone.
That's an 82-yard run to start the game off with. Oh, I'm sorry.
Easy run.
75-yard run.
An amazing run by Jaheim Florida White. And just like that, York High's back into this ball game. And that brings some of the crowd of York High up on their feet.
And that's also, you wonder, without having a guy like Carter Glassmeyer to kind of stuff that hole up a little bit, would Jaheim White have an opportunity to have those big plays. And chances are he will, because Jaheim White is that type of special player.
Going for the two-point conversion here. Sam Stoner looks that way and denied the two-point conversion there. And your score with 5:59 to go. In the first quarter, Central York 14, York High 6. And what a run by Florida, Jaheim White there. And again, you talk about his playmaking ability, it was on display there.
And it's starting to rain even harder now, Todd. But yeah, his playmaking ability is phenomenal, and it's something that a lot of college coaches are going to be aware of this summer going into his senior year.
What a reminder, fans that are tuned in tonight, to if you're attending one of the games in our area, want to chime in on the YouTube feed with a score from around the league, I'll make my best effort as well to keep our viewers updated with scores from around the YAIAA. And in the final week of football here, it's really incredible. I mean, you got the final week of football. I mean, districts for girls volleyball, which was a pleasure to broadcast our first
had over
ever
2,000 views for that YAIAA girls volleyball championship. So with that only being our second volleyball game, was very nice turnout, Todd.
Yeah, and want to thank the fans and sponsors who contributed mightily to the success of that broadcast. We hope to have more in the future.
And you wonder if your car is going to do a little trickery as well and kick off, because you don't want to kick the ball to Manny Manigault. There's a short kick.
And
there it is.
And recovered.
And your car's letting you know that they're here for the whole game. They're not going to allow Central York to pull the trick plays without them having a few of their own.
You're right. Yeah, Scott Monk there with a recovery for Central York. And nice field position again for the Central York Panther offense.
Got one of our buddies, Nick Basil, former kicker for Central York, on the YouTube live chat. He knows all about kicking and kicking in the rain and how important the kicking game is to get to that next level.
And Bo back in shotgun formation. And there it is, a handoff to Amir Manigault down the left sideline inside the 40. And that's a first down yard by Amir Manigault. We have a score from Spring Grove Southwestern. Spring Grove 7, Southwestern 0. We'll keep you updated about tonight's game, and a nice run there by Amir Manigault, another playmaker for this Central York offense.
Well, that run right there was number 6, correct? That was Ajani Walker.
He's back in the set right now, Johnny Walker. Amir near side to us, the receiver.
Yep, you're right.
In and out of the hands of Amir Manigault there as a receiver now for Central York. With 5:37 to go, your score, Central York 14, York High 6.
Yeah, correction, Todd. I'm sorry, that was Ajani Walker with that run, number 6.
Another
for
running
Central
back
York.
for Central York.
Picking up some good yardage. And as you see that pass right there to Amir Manigault, you're going to have that in this game where, the ball might just slip off a little bit. I expect Central York to get back into the running game and get that first down and then go back into the passing.
Trips formation far side. Another running play there by Johnny Walker looking for running room. Not much going there, corralled by a group of Bearcats there.
And York High has a Division I player as well, Todd. We were talking about him earlier. He decommitted.
From UConn, Joe Nelson, an offensive lineman who's getting some looks from Towson University and some other FCS schools. And of course, UConn recently let go Randy Edsel, a York County native.
And Jordan Nelson is listed as 6'4", 290. Got to check him out. Number 64.
64 on your program.
For York High Bearcats.
Bo drops back to throw, looking downfield, deep in the middle. Can he spread in and out? The defenders looking for a flag, but
and it looks like they may have called that on Jaquez Simmons.
Back there,
Number 3 for York High. And again, that didn't To me, it didn't seem like a pass interference from my vantage point, but, you know, the referees are on the field. They may see something else.
They're field level, and the pass was intended to Parker Hines, who's recently
I think,
caught
you know,
a
the
touchdown.
defensive player as well as the offensive player has an opportunity to go after the ball. Didn't really see too much contact to the player, but I did see him making an attempt to go after the ball. So I don't know the rules that, you know, the PIAA has for, you know, certain pass interference calls.
Well, it sets up Central York with a new set of downs here. Ball on the 22-yard line of York High in a steady rain here at Central York. There's that jet sweep to Amir Manigault looking for running room. Bottled up and trying to make some extra yards here on the far side of the field, too.
And right now, you know, York High has to, you know, shore up their defense a little bit and not let Central York get into that end zone and have a 21-0 lead already in the first quarter. You don't want to get defeated. We know it's a mental game as well as physical when you go into a rivalry game. So York High has to buckle down, you know, get a turnover on defense and really stop Central York from getting into the touchdown.
Yeah, how important, is it for this defense of York High to prevent a touchdown here?
Very important. And it looks like Central York's having some opportunities and getting some space on the outside, on each outside, and getting some yardage. And here they are rolling out again.
Rolling to his left, and he's going to keep looking to keep the ball. Oh, in and out of the hands of intended receiver Amir Manigault. With 4:31 to go here, clock stop. A small but rather dedicated group of fans turning out for tonight's contest here, which forecast is calling for a steady rain throughout the whole game tonight, too. And we thank the fans that may be tuned in at home in the comfort of their own home tonight, staying nice and dry. Big third down here in 6 for Central. Oh, looking to throw downfield, dumps it off.
It's another screen.
An easy screen
Trayshawn
pass down
Smith.
to the 10. Trayshawn Smith inside, down near the goal line. That's a first down for Trayshawn Smith. Trayshawn Smith, 6'2" senior for Central York. Do Central now controlling the clock right now and moving the ball downfield. Again,
Looks
first
like
down and goal from the ball and the set up on the 3rd-yard line. Go ahead, Do. And right, the give to number 6 of Johnny Walker. A 3-yard touchdown run. And a flag is down on the play, so that score is pending here. So we get official from word from the field here, Do. Hold against Central. That's going to be coming back. And it'll be first and goal now from the 13-yard line of York High. Bo has his offense spread out, looking to throw. And another flag down there. Pass intended Trayshawn Smith. But another flag's been thrown here, Do. We're awaiting word from the officials on the field. I do see, I thought I saw a flag. Maybe it was a towel from the players that fell in the league from our vantage point. It doesn't appear to be no flag, but we'll bring up a second down.
Second down.
13.
Ball to
back.
13.
And boy.
And that's a good tackle from Stephen Rowland Washington, number 26 for York High, one of their linebackers.
I'll bring up a third down. We're under 3.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Your score, Central York 14, York High 6. in a steady rain here.
Yeah, it's a
at
nice
Central.
pouring of rain tonight. I was soaking the field. I know the players are soaked. They need some hot chocolate after this game, Todd.
Hot chocolate or coffee, no doubt
And
about
some
it.
chicken noodle soup or something.
And the end zone touchdown.
That was a great design. And I believe it's coming back, though.
And it may be because there is a flag down on the field here.
That's one of those pick routes, Todd, like where one of the wide receivers kind of cross patterns with the other wide receiver and gets wide open. And that was a really nice design play. The misdirection right now is confusing York High.
Yes, it is. And that was thrown to number 9, Trenton Dunnick, who also plays defense as well for the Central York Panther.
And
Hold on.
and that's a hold on York High.
Penalty decline, and it's a touchdown.
For- Trenton Dunnick getting in on the scoring act now as well for
Got to give a
Central
lot
York.
of credit to the coach. You know, his play design so far in this game. The coach for Central York, Coach Janchik, his play design has been top notch. Kind of reminds me a little bit of last year watching St. Joe's Prep, where Central York went against St. Joe's Prep, and they did all types of plays against Central York, and it's like they were like shell shocked, didn't know you know, those plays even existed.
Yeah, we
And
were
that's
both up at Hershey Park Stadium for that, and
really impressed by St. Joe's coaching and the way they do their play calling. And tonight, I'm seeing a lot of that from Central York's coach, Gary Janchik. Wonder how the kicking's going to go, Todd. Now that it's getting really wet out there.
yeah, Matthew Parker, the point after attempt. Oh, a mishandle, and again, you called it too, with that wet
Figured
ball.
that, yeah.
And it's no good, and well, the score, Central York 20, York High 6.
Because the kids the student athletes right now, they're at the point where they're drenched. You know, so their hands are wet. I mean, like their clothes are drenched. They're probably weighing at least 7 to 8 more pounds. You know, and I believe as the game progresses, it's going to be a lot more issues going on with the rain and you know, fumbles, turnovers, and things of that nature.
Coming into this game tonight, Central York's averaging 44 points a game. On the opposite side, York High's coming into tonight's game averaging 49 points per game.
Yeah.
So fans that are tuned in tonight may see a lot of scoring taking place tonight.
And in Division I and YAIAA, they're pretty much the darlings of the Division I class. And, you know, you have Dallastown Wildcats. They had a great year as well. Dallastown really proved that they can play with teams like Central York and York High. Even though they didn't come out with the win, they played valiantly, and you know, they gave a great effort. And you know, Dallastown's another team you got to look out for in the years to come, especially with, you know, the Division I prospect Kenny Johnson.
Kenny Johnson, and of course they're at Red Lion tonight, playing in that backyard brawl at Horn Field, a big rivalry, much like Northeastern and Central have been through the years.
Absolutely. And York High has to be very careful on the way that Central York is kicking the ball, because they do not want to go to Jaheim White, so they'll kick the ball to anybody but him.
And kick to the up, and that
Ball's alive again, dude. And it looks like Central may fall it on that ball.
Wow.
At near midfield.
Wow. Hit him right in the face mask.
It did, and it
Smacked
bounced
him.
off.
and
Turnovers
recovered.
and great field possession is the key to Central being up right now. They have great field possession on all four of their opportunities.
Yeah, and to tell our viewers, a lot easier to move the ball maybe 30 yards as opposed to a full 80-yard field. And you're seeing right now Central York.
And York High has to wake up. I mean, to be honest with you, they have to wake up. They got to know on that kick return, on the kickoff covers, they're not kicking to Jaheim White, so they have to be. Everybody has to be prepared to catch the ball.
Bo, it's going to be, it looks like a quarterback keeper down up far side of the field, inside the 40 and down near the first down yardage there. If Bo can't beat you with his arm, he can beat you with that
He's just as
4 or
dangerous.
5 speed that he has.
He's just as dangerous. He's a dual quarterback. He can run. He can throw the ball. He has a lot of confidence. He's out there controlling his ball club, same as he did last year. I mean, there's no drop-off from Bo Perbrula. You know, the team changed as far as seniors dropping off, graduating. But Bo Perbrula's is his performance and play has not dropped off at all.
Not at all.
No matter who he plays against, he has a decent game.
A difference maker. And can Penn State call him up now?
Yes, they can. Let's just hope James Franklin stays there, because there's some talk about him going to USC.
And a running play there by Jules Goff and a nice tackle.
Also, the key for Central York to control this game and to win the game is, holding on to the ball, no turnovers. Because, as you can see, York High can score for one play.
That 80-yard touchdown run by Jaheim White.
Absolutely. So,
just like that.
That can happen really fast for York High. So Central York wants to control the ball, have no turnovers because it's a wet conditions. And I know Coach Y came into the game, really telling his players to hold on to the ball. But it looks like, their game plan as far as the air raid offense is well intact, and they're not changing anything because of the weather.
And catch. There's Trenton Dunnick again inside the 30-yard line, and Trenton Dunnick making his presence felt here tonight on the offensive side of the ball.
And right now, York High's secondary is being attacked. They're picking on their secondary a little bit. There's a little bit misdirection and miscommunication going in the secondary for York High. They need a leader, captain out there to talk. Even call a timeout to get the guys back on the right page because right now it seems like York High's reeling back.
Bo looking to make something happen. He's going to roll out of the pocket down the far side of the field. Man, and just like that, another new set of downs for the Central York Panthers,
and York High's defense is tired.
Well, let's think of that. They've been on this field for most of this game tonight.
I will call a timeout. I will call a timeout to get the guys, backed in and, hopefully get a turnover, get the guys back locked in. But York High's defense has been on the field for the entire first quarter, basically.
Yeah.
And I believe they're starting to get a little bit tired. I will call a timeout, just to get the guys, reassured and, just to talk to them. But,
Yeah, we've seen a steady dive of offense here from Central York.
Absolutely, yep. And it's end around going right now.
There's a jet sweep by Mir Manigault looking for running room near the far side. Oh, and he may have been almost horse collared. And that's going to be a personal foul there.
And that's a horse collar tackle.
Mir Manigault there brought down.
And that play is going to be called against Darius Corliss, the senior, number 27, 6'2", 190. Look, as you can see, York High, some of the guys are on their knees right now.
Hands on their hips. Yeah,
this is a hostile environment. People think they can come into Central York, just like you go into York High's field. I mean, it's always going to be tough to win.
Yep.
It's always going to be tough to win on York High's field or even Central York's field. So when they're having so much progress and success with all these plays, you would think, a timeout is needed.
And I think there may be some explanation here by the
I think Coach Stoner
referee
wants to talk to the referee about a call that's going on.
And sometimes strategically, this may be that unofficial timeout for the York High defense right now.
If York High has the opportunity to take that rest, they need to take it right now. I like to see the guys out there talking to each other. York High, their defensive players talking to each other, still staying engaged, but they have a heavy load dealing with Central York so far in this first quarter. And they're picking up the flag now.
.113 to go here in the opening quarter. Central York 20, York High 6. But the Panthers here are threatening for another score here, Dew. To give to Jules Goff. Trying to keep his legs churning, but not much going there on that play. Bring up a second down and goal for Central York.
We now have over 1,000 fans on the YouTube chat right now, Todd, engaging on the game and watching the game tonight. So big shout out to them. Also big shout out to our sponsors. Without them, we won't be able to put this game on TV tonight and have it online. Check their information out the lower third of our screen.
Second and goal, Bo looking to throw the ball. He's going to roll
he
out
can
to
run. He can run right in.
He's going to get it there on the far side and walk it in there, Dew. Touchdown, Bo Parabola, 3-yard touchdown run. No, 4.
And I just overheard that was Bo's fifth
touchdown run of the season. And again, I mentioned if he can't beat you with his arm, he can run, and you see some of that speed right now. Clearly, they have York High on their heels here, Dew. Freshman kicker Matthew Parker on for the point after attempt. The point is up and good on that attempt.
And so far, Bo Perbula has been a part of each touchdown for Central York so far. I think he threw 3, and he ran in 1. So he's been a huge, intricate part of this lead right now for Central York.
I mentioned kind of in our pregame show, dude, that he's the difference maker. Well, he's showing that with 31 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And an interesting side note for Bo, you know, he's undefeated in YAIAA competition since taking over as a sophomore for this Central York Panther ball club.
I think the last defeat, I believe, was sometime as a sophomore. He's been in the YAIAA.
Well, in YAIAA, of course, he came on for his brother as a freshman. We were broadcasting that game from the Meadow, where Cade Perbula was knocked out, and in came his brother, freshman Bo Perbula, to finish that game, and that was the last time York High defeated the Central York Panther Ball Club. If you're York High, I ask you, what do they have to do to kind of get back into this game? Because we haven't seen much offensively. I believe they've only had 2 possessions.
Right here, Todd. This is the key point so far.
The special teams phase.
The special teams has been outworked by Central York so far in this game.
And the ball fell off the tee here, which is understandable in these monsoon-like conditions here at Central York High School.
And we're no stranger to monsoon season doing York High games.
We have been out in the elements. I want to remind our fans, tonight we're inside the booth, but we have been outside in the elements.
Absolutely.
And very thankful and gracious that the athletic director, Marty Trimmer, allowed us to be inside the booth
Let's
tonight.
see what happens.
And here we go.
And this is the first kick that Jaheem White has no, he's not going to take it.
It's going to be a touchback. With 31 seconds to go here in the first quarter, we're going to get a chance to see this York High Bearcat offense, which we have not seen much of their offense tonight, matched up with the Central York Panthers defense. Yeah, this is going to be York High's 3rd possession offensively. We're going to see what they can do here.
And York High's going to run the ball, but right now you see the rain is coming down tremendously. I mean, you just step outside your door if you're in York County, and you can see it coming down. I know we have fans watching from all over. Sam Stoner in shotgun, and he drops
the ball jumbled there, and Sam's just going to have to fall on that and take a loss on that play. Not exactly the way you want to get this offensive drive started here for York High.
I'm going to give you another one. I got another one for you.
Sheets of rain are coming down on this field almost from right to left. And you can see this from our broadcast booth.
York High knows what they need to do. Get the ball to number 4, Jaheem White.
And we've arrived at the end of the first quarter with your score. Central York 27, York High 6.
Panthers have the lead, 27, Bearcat 6. Thanks to Sports Shooting Stars tonight for filming live.
I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast: Basil Insurance, Integrity First Home Buyers, S3 Performance Training, Prestige Motor Cars of York, York Area Flag Football League, Parma's Pizza, and United Lutheran Church.
Congratulations to all the seniors in attendance here tonight, including the seniors from the Bearcat.
Some scores from around the league: Susquehannock 3, York Suburban 0. Spring Grove 7, Southwestern 0. Dallastown 14, Red Lion 8 from Hornfield. New Oxford 21, West York 0. Littlestown 7, Fairfield 7. And Bermudian Springs 14, Biglerville 0. As we're back to action here to start the second quarter. York High moving right to left on your TV screen. And they give to Jaheim White looking for running room and is brought down and the ball comes out. Was he down? I think he may have been down on that play. Yeah, 3rd down now for bring up a 3rd down and 15 due. And of course, they're backed up right now from their own 15-yard line. Jaheim White, the lone setback for York High. Sam Stoner looks to give the ball to Jaheim White.
And he's going again.
And he could be going down that far sideline, out to midfield.
That's a
just like
big
that,
time.
Jaheim White making a statement tonight. Go ahead.
About a 45-yard pickup for Jaheim White, and that puts him over 100 yards and only about 5 carries.
5 carries. Certainly a fun player to watch, Jaheim Florida White. Not feeling very Florida-like out there tonight. Game time kickoff temperature was about 54 degrees and wet. But a new set of downs, ball on the 35-yard line of Central York.
Oh, and the snap, and Sam's just going to have to fall on it. The ball seems to lose, and it may have been picked up by Central defense. And we're waiting, and it has been picked up.
And that's the key to the game, special teams and turnovers. And
by
so far,
Braden Bowers.
York High is losing that battle. Really uncharacteristic of York High. It's almost like, they're not, they're not ready for this game, or they're not prepared, for these rainy conditions. And you would think that would have been in York High's favor coming into the game as much as they like the, the ground game.
Yeah, they'd like to run. We've seen magnificent glimpses of Jaheim White tonight. I mean, over 100 yards already on limited
about
carries.
5-6 rushes over 100 yards. And again, Central York is back in great field position.
Great field position. Mir Manigault.
Misdirection again.
Trenton Dunnick with the catch. And down to inside the 45, inside the 40, and down past the first down yardage there.
And York High did a better
Dunnick.
job that time playing that screen. They still had an opportunity to get the first down, but they did a better job playing that screen because those misdirections and, those
you're seeing that.
Those complex plays that the OC is calling for Central York is really confusing York High.
And they don't seem to have much of an answer for it, right now.
And I don't know if the fans can see, but it's pouring outside right now. I mean, we got to give a big shout out to the cheerleaders as well. They're out here cheerleading. They're doing
with
their thing.
Their rain gear on, which is rightly so, and a lot of fans with umbrellas in the stand. And
as you can see, the cheerleaders are out here. They're braving the storm and the weather to support their team.
And
big
the fans
shout out
from
to
both
them.
schools here in attendance tonight.
Yes, York High.
Hearty fan base here from both sides, Central York and York High, to be out here in the elements tonight.
My former school, York High, has a lot of pride in their ball club.
There's a penalty, sets up Central York with great field position. There's Trayshawn Smith with a catch.
And Trayshawn Smith actually went to York High 2 years ago. He's a transfer. He's been with Central York for 2 years now.
He's a senior now for the Central York Ball Club.
Has a lot of family, a lot of friends on both sides, Central York as well as York High.
Yeah, it seems as if York High's a little shell shock right now, and right now 27 for Central, York High 6, but Central York's threatening for more right now. Ball set up at the 12-yard line.
York High has to wake up or it's going to be a long night.
Give to Johnny Walker. They're looking for running room, and boy, he's keeping his legs churning down to near the 5-yard line of York High.
It looked like there's something a little extra going on.
And it looks like a flag was thrown, maybe on number 1, Amaj Walker. Some emotions getting the best of the players there in back the end zone there,
Yeah, Amaj Walker, he's a fired-up football player on the football field and on the basketball court. So, frustration may be setting in from number 1 right now, Amaj Walker. I know he wants his team to be more competitive and be into the game, but he has to lock in and focus on the game and not on the extracurricular activities that come along with the game. And you don't want to get, again, the turnovers, the penalties have really hurt York High so far in this first half.
Combination of the penalties due and, of course, the turnovers on special teams. And it looks as if there's a timeout call by head coach Russ Stoner of York High. I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. There are many, and we appreciate all our sponsors: Basil Insurance, Integrity First Home Buyers, S3 Performance Training, Prestige Motor Cars of York, the York Area Flag Football League, Parma's Pizza of Dallastown, Dean's Auto Plaza in Hanover, and United Lutheran Church. All sponsors this big matchup, this epic battle between York High and Central York. Right now, Central York set up great field position here after a personal foul call against York High.
Or not both.
And they give to Amash Walker, looking to run.
That's a Johnny Walker, number 6 for Central York.
Yep, it's going to be a second down situation now for Central York.
And right now, Central York is in cruise control. They're not in no rush to do anything. They're doing a great job of having no turnovers and taking what the defense is giving them. And again, I got to give a lot of credit to Central York's offensive coordinator and some of the plays he called so far in his first half.
Trips formation near side. And that's got to be a quarterback draw. Bo looking to keep the ball.
And that's a design run for Bo Perbula, but that's a good
and it
tackle.
Looks like he's just short there.
And that brings up third and goal.
A little short of the goal line, but inching closer here, the Central York Panther offense do.
Looks like the scoreboard is saying that second down, Todd. I thought it was third as well, but looks like they're saying it's second down.
Offense spread out. 4 receivers, lone setback in the backfield. And a quarterback keeper, Bo, and makes it in. Can walk. Second touchdown for Bo Perbola.
And Bo has been involved in all 5 of Central York's touchdowns. He's either throwing the ball or he's running it in.
Second touchdown tonight as a touchdown run for Bo Perbola. And it's kind of the Bo show tonight. How about it, Du?
I mean, he's that type of player for this particular reason. Central York, as well as York High, is going into the districts. But, Bo is preparing for that district run. He's going to try to do it again like he did last year. And, this is right where you want to be at towards the end of the regular season.
Matthew Parker, and another botched snap and hold there. And, again, the rain having some effect there on point after attempts. But your score here in the second quarter with 9:10 to go, Central York 33, York High 6.
And that was a good tackle for number 13, Terrence Price for York High.
And Du, certainly maybe one of the weak spots tonight. Their point after attempts twice now. They've missed them, but still a comfortable lead for Central York Panthers. And it's really been Central York all night tonight. A bit of a surprise from my perspective, Du, tonight. I thought this contest would be a little closer.
Yeah.
Your thoughts as this game's been progressing here in
Well,
the second quarter?
Just like York High is making a lot of mental mistakes. I don't know if they're clocking out because it's the last game of the regular season or what the situation is, but I know Coach Stoner doesn't prepare these guys for, to clock out. He wants some guys to be engaged for the whole four quarters. And right now, York High has to wake up. Central York came out like a district team, with some trick plays, very clever offensive plays. The special team has been phenomenal right now for Central York. Great field position and some turnovers. I mean, that's what you want on all facets of the game.
And we've talked about the 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And right now tonight, Central York winning in all 3 phases, and the ball muffed there a bit, recovered there, and brought down hard there. Number 1, Maj Walker.
Maj Walker.
But not ideal field position. Again, a long field to go here for York High with 9:02 to go here in the second quarter.
York High has to go around 92 yards to go to hit pay dirt. It's going to be very tough. Right now, they haven't been successful at all, as far as offensively and putting together some drives. But Jaheim White has over 100 yards so far for people that's just tuning in. In about 7 carries, he has over 100 yards.
If there's one player that can do it for York High, it's Jaheim White, who we've seen earlier had an 80-yard touchdown run and busted out for a 40-yard run. He's had their lone score, so keep an eye on him. He's number 4, and they give to Jaheim White.
As expected.
Not much going there, brought down by Central defenders.
And Jaheim White is a special player, but York High's front linemen, they have to do better job blocking and giving him an opportunity to bust through those holes so he can get those long yardage. It takes a team effort, and right now York High has to buckle down and play as a team and, really control the ball for the rest of this quarter so they don't give Central York any opportunity. Because if I'm not mistaken, Central York has scored on each possession they had so far in this game.
An ideal field position for Central York. Long field here for York High, but the give to Jaheim White looking to bust through. Not much going. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now for the York High Bearcats.
And this game here, Todd, this for both ball clubs, as I said before, going into the district, this is going to be a good game for them to play in these type of conditions where it's rainy, it's not ideal, and they'll have some of that game experience of playing in a game like this and a game of a high magnitude as it is tonight, because this game is for the YAIAA AA County
Division
Championship.
1. Yes, exactly. And you wonder, Central York, if they hold on for the win tonight, will host the districts for the whole run. All those games will be played here at Central. No need to go on the road if you're the Central York Panthers. You can come out here and see the Bow Show in Central York all through districts.
And you get a lot of people talking about Bo this, Bo that, you know what I mean? But I think he does a great job. He's very mature. A lot of people talk for him, but you don't see him bragging. And he's just a football player. He can play other sports as well, but he's just a football player that takes it in stride. Like I said, he's very humble.
Well, and high IQ.
High IQ.
And very mature young man. And,
like to give a lot of credit to his family, Tad. Of course,
and Steph, his mom, Steph.
His mom, Steph. And, of course, his big brother, Kate Prabula, out of Delaware State.
And the punt there by Sam Stoner, and not much going. That's blocked. Dude, that baby ran in. He can walk it in, dude.
And that's Trayshawn Smith, number
by
4.
Trayshawn Smith. The special teams now, dude.
And that's the tale right now so far. The special teams has outworked York High tremendously. And it's just bad right now, to be honest with you.
I can't believe what we're seeing right now. It's been all Central.
You got it. York High has to give their team an opportunity. And right now with these turnovers, botched punts, and,
just completely shell-shocked right now, the York High Bearcats. And, right now, the score, Central York 39 with a point pending, York High 6. Standing here, I just can't believe what I'm seeing here from the York High Bearcat side.
Right.
And based on what we're seeing here, Central's ready for the districts, too.
Absolutely. Central's ready to roll. They want that championship tonight. They're not looking further into the district. They're taking one game at a time. And tonight, it's all about them playing against York High and getting that county championship. And they're locked in. They're engaged. And as you can see, they have almost 40 points so far in the first half against a loaded and the mighty York High Bearcats.
Yes, and want to emphasize, as I did earlier, they're averaging 44 points per game. Tonight they may be over that against this York High Bearcat ball club. Glad we are here broadcasting, bringing the game to our fans. My broadcast partner getting rained on a little bit here inside the broadcast booth.
It's a tight booth tonight.
It's a tight booth. A lot of media members are here.
Pat Principe, I see.
Here.
Yeah.
I think Gary Sutton. I saw Gary Sutton here as well. The radio side's here as well. WOYK. Bo rolling around for the 2-point conversion.
And he caught that, dude.
No, he's saying it's incomplete. From our vantage point there.
And you wonder, Todd, it's only 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, and Central right now has a commanding lead. And you wonder if, in the second half, how much more you're going to play guys like Bo Prabula as you're going into the district if you had this game under lock and key.
Lock.
I just wonder about that. I mean, I know I'm projecting a little bit. That's a little further down the line. And, York does have a chance to chip away and get back into this game somewhat. But you just wonder how much you're going to play a guy like Bo Perbula in the second half.
In these elements.
Knowing that you have, district implications and
I was there last week at Dallastown, saw Carter Glassmeyer get injured, and that was a dry track last week at Dallastown. But yeah, certainly Central York is well on their way potentially to winning their third straight win against York High.
And I don't want to give I want to also give York High a lot of credit. I mean, it is raining out here. It's raining really bad. The wind is going east to west. It's very hard conditions, but like you said, this is November football. This is district football almost.
District.
And now Jaheim White has an opportunity to return this kick.
And through his hands.
And that's a touchback.
Touchback.
He had his eyes down the field. He was going to take that ball and run.
And he's one player that can do that for this York High Bearcat offense. With 6:58 to go, Central York 39, York High 6. Well, the one positive with the rain tonight, I think when we pack up and leave post-game, there won't be much traffic out of Central York tonight.
Right. I don't know how much we're going to do post-game interviews a day, but we're going to go down there. We're going to do a little something, but we're not going to stay out there too long.
They have pop-up tents down there on the sideline. And
Absolutely.
I've been marking that out post-game for our interview. We'll stand under there. I don't want to get our hair wet, as we're broadcasting.
There it is. I got you.
Sam Stoner back in shotgun formation, and they give to Jaheim White looking for running room.
And Jaheim White just runs on pure will, pure strength, and he believes in himself. And you can see when he gets the ball that he's always trying to get that extra yards, and he'll put the team on his back if he has to.
Calling the action from the broadcast booth with every run of him, you're just kind of waiting for him to break free.
Yep.
Prime example, the last run.
And
Jaheim well over 100 yards already with. And we're just in the second quarter with just over 6:30 to go here.
And he has under 10 carries so far. It already has over 100 yards. He exploded for a big one for about 75 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
In the second quarter.
And they give to Jaheim White.
I have yet to see one guy bring down Jaheim White.
No,
the games that we film when he's out there playing, it takes 2 to 3 guys to bring him down. He's just stout. Like I said, reminds me a lot of Barry Sanders, as far as his build.
And I'm awaiting more word. I think he's going to have a visit tomorrow at Virginia Tech, Blacksburg, Virginia, visiting there. He's visiting Maryland, West Virginia, of course, Penn State a couple weeks ago. He was
He's
up
a
there
busy
with Kenny
man.
Johnson. Yeah. There it is, back to Jaheim White. And bouncing out, looking at far sideline, still on his feet, inside the 40-yard line.
And that may have been a game-saving tackle for number 13.
That's Brandon Watson for Central York.
Brandon Watson, great tackle for him. If not, Jaheim White was seeing.
Could have been off to the races again for his second touchdown.
And this is a good drive so far for York High, and this is what they needed. It took them a little while to get to this point because of the turnovers and the awfulness they have on the special team so far in the first half. But this is what they wanted. They want to chew the clock up a little bit, run the clock. Central can score points very fast. So York High is right where they need to be at as far as getting the ball to Jaheim White and chewing up that clock.
And for York High, it's keeping Central York's offense on the sideline.
Now, Jaheim White has just checked out the game, so expect a quick bubble screen from Sam Stoner to one of his players. Not much
There's
going.
There's a sweep to the outside, Johnny Cheshire. Number 2, Johnny Cheshire with a run.
And that was a nice tackle from number 21 for Central York, Niger DeWitt.
DeWitt, we've called his name a couple times on that defensive side of the ball in some of our past broadcasts.
His brother played for Central York last year, Raquel DeWitt, a.k.a. Chicken. That was his nickname that his friends will call him. Right now, York High is moving the ball down the field.
And there's the give to Jaheim White up the middle.
And he has the first down.
Certainly making his presence felt tonight with nearly 150 yards rushing so far here in the second quarter
Yeah,
for
this is a
Jaheim
night
White.
that Jaheim White's probably going to have around 250 to 300 yards. He's already past 150 yards so far in 10 carries.
He's had a 400-yard performance, a 200-yard performance.
A 7 touchdown game. He does a little bit of everything, Todd.
He's their do-everything player and for York High. And it'll be interesting to see heading into next year, his senior year, just how many more D1 offers Jaheim White
He'll continue to get them.
Quarterback keeper by Sam Stoner. And the ball came out. It may have been Central recovered. Now, did they blow the whistle?
Not sure. They're discussing it right now to see what's going on.
We're awaiting word, and it's Central ball, dude. And another turnover for these Bearcats.
And that was Sam Stoner's first design run. And, he had an opportunity to get down the field. He got a couple yards and ended up giving up the rock. And, again, that's another turnover for York High. And that's been the name of the game so far in the first half. Turnovers and their special team has really put York High in a very difficult place.
You certainly don't want to turn the ball over any time, but certainly not against the Central York Panther offense.
And when you play against good teams, Todd, turnovers are key. You can't have turnovers against good teams. And York High did a great job of having a drive that time, and it just went nowhere with that fumble. I would suggest York High go after the ball and try to get a couple of their own turnovers and poke at the ball and try to see if you can get a fumble as well, because they're playing with the same ball. If that ball's slippery on one side, it's slippery on the other side as well.
Exactly. And it's interesting right now, if you're Central York with this commanding lead right now, do you just kind of pound the rock and run the clock out?
I believe so. But I think Central York eventually is going to pound the rock and then catch York High slipping and throw a deep ball, because Bo does have that type of arm.
He does. It's going to be fun watching him go to the next level at Penn State. Bo looking to throw the ball.
Kind of a busted play.
Yeah.
Kind of a busted.
And there's picked off.
And that's
Amaj Walker.
Number 1.
And there's that turnover due for York High, and brought down hard by number 13.
And that was great defense.
Well, you mentioned turnovers, too. Amaj Walker created that.
And that was great defense from Amaj Walker, number 1 for York High, playing the cornerback position. He fouled the ball and got that big tackle. But there is a penalty on the field, and I believe that may be a late hit on Bo Perbula. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that may be a late hit. And Bo's going underneath the tent right now to get looked at.
I do see that,
and that play almost developed. Bo did a great job of extending the play, but then he didn't put enough fire on that ball to get it to his player. And Amaj Walker did a great job with the interception. And it puts York High back in good field position with 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the second quarter. Don't know what that penalty was about, though, Todd.
We're going to find out here, hopefully.
I saw Coach Janchik for Central York yelling at the referee, so I think it has something to do with this quarterback getting hit or a late play. York High came in with a big play.
And if you're Central York, there's obviously some of the players and Bo are under the tent right now, getting tended to by the training staff here. We'll try to keep an update for our fans on that there with 2:55 to go here. But York High with the ball, and the give to Jaheim White.
He's still running.
I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight: Basil Insurance, Integrity First Home Buyers, Parma Pizza of Dallastown, United Lutheran Church of York, the York Area Flag Football League, S3 Performance Training, Prestige Motor Cars of York, and let's not forget Basil Insurance as well, along with Integrity First Home Buyers. All sponsors for tonight's mega matchup here.
All our sponsors are directly related to the community. They do a lot of work in the community. We really appreciate that. Without them, we can't have these games online and on TV.
And they give to Jaheim White, moving his legs there into Central York Panther.
But to tell the fans, too, if you're looking for insurance, you're looking for a house or a place to train, or, you're looking for an adult flag football league, all that contact information is below on our screen on our lower third. And they're, you can hit them up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. They have their phone number, their website. They have been very helpful for us throughout the years, and we actually use their services as well.
In Season 5, with the sponsors and, of course, the fans supporting Sports Shooting Stars, we appreciate the support and the give back to Jaheim White looking for running room.
And also can't forget United Lutheran Church. Our good
Located
friend
at 408 West Market Street, right in York. You can contact them on www.unionlutheran.org, their website, or contact them at 717-843-7897. Bring up a 2nd down and 7 right now. Ball on the 43-yard line of Central York.
I want to give a big shout out to Pastor Joel Folkermer. He's one of our sponsors for United Lutheran Church. Reached out to us. I think he sponsored about 2 or 3 games with us in the last 2 years. Really appreciate that.
And again, another running play by York High. Jaheim White looking to bounce outside, and the ball came out. And they do another turnover. We're
And that's Central York's football. Central has it.
Bo's out from the 10. He's putting his helmet on. Bo's running right back out of that field, and that offense of Central York.
You can't win any games having turnovers like this, especially against good teams. It's not a team that you can just run all over. This is the #1 rated team in 6A, and you have to play like it. You have to play like it.
You got to bring your A game, and that surprises me a little bit, too.
Sorry.
Because York High is one of those teams that's going to be in the districts as well, and they're certainly not playing like that tonight.
And we understand the conditions and it being very wet, slippery out there, but you got to have some ball protection.
And conversely, both teams are playing in this weather tonight, and Central doing an outstanding job of minimizing turnovers.
Yeah, I expected turnovers from both teams, but Central doing a great job, as you said, not turning the ball over at all. And this is wide open field.
Bo has it inside the 50, 45, 40, down the right sideline, 35, 30. Bo's making moves out there.
And that's a 35-yard gallop for a 1st down.
Timeout Central. They have 2 remaining with 38.8 seconds to go. You think Central York wants more, do?
It looks like they're trying to put the stamp on this game and really go into halftime with a commanding lead and the momentum. They're not going to let York High have anything to do with, getting back on the scoreboard.
Creep back into this. And some fans may be asking, when's this running clock take effect? 35 points or more, the running clock will be in effect. And right now, Central York 39, York High 6. In a wet, soggy field here at Central York. A 34-yard run by Bo Prabola. And if you're thinking of MVPs, player of the games, we've said it multiple times in our broadcast, but at the top of the list for Central would be Bo Prabola.
Absolutely, especially a game like this. The ball's in his hand quite often with the rain, and but even with the throws, man, he's right on point. And again, if they stamp it in and score before the end of this quarter, and they have control in the 3rd quarter, I don't expect to see Bo Prabola playing at all in the 4th quarter. You might as well let him rest, get him underneath the tent so he can dry up a little bit and get focused on that district game that's going to happen in about a week. And if they win tonight, I believe they have a home game.
Yes, they're going to have home field advantage with a win tonight.
Oh, and a late push out of bounds, by number 42. Sincere Brown, and some emotions now are flying, and rightly so.
Yeah. And it's getting a little chippy out there.
It is certainly doing.
And now they got guys running on the field.
They got.
Back.
Get him out. Good job.
By one of the coaches,
And one of the coaches made a big-time tackle
on one of the players of York High. It's a complete melee on the field,
It definitely is. And you don't want to see this. And I believe.
And the wheels have kind of come off the car for York High right now.
And you don't want to see this because, like I said again, these guys, both teams are going to the districts. You understand? They're both going to the districts. So this is just one game. And you don't want to blow your district implications in one game. You want to stay focused on the game. It's just a game. On top of that, we're going to emphasize that it's just a game. And the player that got tackled by the coach, he got up limping. So you know, you make a dumb move like that, you know, you do dumb things, you get dumb prizes, as they say. You know,
no doubt about it, too. And tell you, some of the Central York fan base pretty vocal here, unhappy with what they're seeing from the York High Bearcat team.
Yeah, and
trying to restore some order here as we have a brief break in the action with 33 seconds to go.
And you expect the game to get a little chippy when it gets out of control like this, and this is a rivalry game. But you don't want to see dirty plays. You don't want to see the bench, you know, emptying, each bench emptying and somewhat of a brawl. You don't want to see coaches on the field. None of that. That's not what you're out here for. You're out here to play one game. Win or lose, you have another game next week.
Yeah, no doubt, and both teams will. I mean, they're both going to be in districts. It's just a matter of seeding right now. If Central holds on for the win tonight, they're going to have home field advantage throughout districts, which will be a big advantage. And that fan base here at Central York probably hoping for drier weather next week with that opening round matchup in districts. But a faithful bunch of fans out here tonight. I got to emphasize that. They have their umbrellas, their rain gear.
You want to keep the game clean. Like I said, you know, they're both two ball clubs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fire coming into this game, with it being the last game of the regular season with the county championship on the line. You know, hopefully the referees, the coaches can get everything restored and get the game back, you know, playing correctly. And it looks like they're doing that right now, so we can have a successful game and finish this game on a high note.
But just hitting out of bounds like that, it was a spiral effect. And right now, I think the referee crew right now trying to sort this out. There are going to be some ejections from this due here. Is that what they're?
Looks like they may have one guy leave, one or two guys leave. You can't empty your bench. You can't run on the field. You have to be respectful. We all know that earlier this year there was another incident over at Spring Grove where, you know, a player left the bench and, you know, attacked the referee. So, you know, they definitely going to be on top of that moving forward. They're not going to allow that stuff to happen at all.
And right now, while we have a brief break in the action right now, I'd like to give you some scores from around the league. Bermudian Springs 14, Biglerville 0. Littlestown 14, Fairfield 7. Delone Catholic 8, Hanover 0. New Oxford 23, West York 0. Dallastown all over Red Lion right now, 27-8 from Horn Field. Spring Grove 7, Southwestern 0. Susquehannock 3, York Suburban 0. And those are the scores from around the league on this wet Friday from Central York High School. 33 seconds to go here in the second quarter before we break for halftime. And the offense of Central York back on the field. And right now, I tell you what, Central York's going to be set up with ideal field position here on first down.
Yeah, you want to keep it between the lines, Todd. You don't want things to get outside the lines. It's just a football game. You know, I can understand. You know, emotions. These are young kids. You know what I'm saying? They're under 18, most of these guys, so they got to keep their emotions in check and, you know, just play a clean game.
Bo back in shotgun formation, looking to roll to his left, looking to find an open receiver. In and out of the hands of Amir Manigault, intended receiver. Bring up a second
it's
down.
Now 2nd and 5 with 28 seconds to go. On this beautiful night.
39. Beautiful night.
That's a joke. It's a rainy, cold night.
I was hoping more for temperatures in the 70s, you know. But we're not having that tonight. Game time temp, 54 degrees. I'm sure the temperature has dropped. The rain has been steady. It looks as if it's slowed down slightly here. But Bo Perbola thrown for 3 touchdowns, have ran for 2 touchdowns. And right now they're threatening this York High defense for more. And there it is. He floated to Walker, in and out of the hands, and a big hit by Jaquez Simmons there near the goal line. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. A big time hit. You heard that up here in the press box.
want to tell the fans, one of our cameras got knocked down, a scoreboard camera. So during halftime, we'll go down there and get the scoreboard camera fixed again. But right now, the score is 39 to 6. Central York is up over York High Bearcats. It's 22 seconds to go in the second quarter. Bear with us. We'll get the clock back up.
In and out of the hands. Mir Manigault. He's going to bring up a 4th down and goal now for Central York. Be interesting to see if they send their kicker, Matthew Parker, out. And our offense is going to stay out there.
And we're using a different camera tonight. It may get blown over by the rain or the wind, so we're not 100% sure, but we will go down there during halftime and get that other camera up so you can know the score and the
Third
time.
final timeout used now by Central York as they're going to think things over here and decide what their best option is here on 4th down and goal. Ball set up at the 5-yard line. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors tonight: Basil Insurance, Integrity First Home Buyers, S3 Performance Training, Prestige Motor Cars of York, the York Area Flag Football League, Parma's Pizza of Dallastown, and United Lutheran Church right here in York, Pennsylvania. All sponsors for tonight's big broadcast.
It looks like Central York is going to go for it on 4th and 5.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 5.
They have a kicker who's capable of making this
Putting
kick, but they're going to
points.
go for it. And this is good experience in the red zone for them, as I said again, as they go into the district play next
empty
week.
Backfield set, spread out. Bo's going to keep it. And zigzag, and his 3rd touchdown run of tonight's game. And Bo, with that, you can see how fired up he was on that touchdown run.
Man,
his 3rd touchdown run.
For a guy like Bo Perbrula, he scores a lot of touchdowns. He has a lot of hype around him, but it seems like it never gets old to him. He still gets excited when his number's called. He still makes a play when he needs to make a play. And like I said to you again, he's a gentleman on the football field. I mean, he has a lot of maturity.
Yes.
Doesn't show off too much and just plays really hard.
He wanted that due after being hit out of bounds late. That was a statement drive and a statement touchdown. And that may have sealed the deal here. I know it's still plenty of the second half to go here, but they're going to go for 2 right now. Incomplete there. Pass intended for Parker Hines. And your score with 13 seconds to go. Central York 45, York High 6. Again, I've emphasized this before. Very surprised by tonight's performance from York High. I was expecting more tonight, and it hasn't quite lived up to the billing here tonight. It's been all Central do heading into halftime.
Yeah, Central been in total control. If you didn't watch this game, this is a key game that you can watch. That special teams and that third facet of the football game is very important because kicking, turnovers have been really the tell sign of why Central York is up as much as they're up right now, and can't get away from Bo Perbrula. I mean, he's having one of those games where he has either thrown a touchdown pass or he scored the touchdown.
3 touchdown runs and 3 touchdown passes.
On other plays so far.
Bo's been the impact player tonight, and certainly our player of the game so far. Still a whole half to go, but certainly Central York has won the first half here against the York High Bearcats. It'll be interesting to see this weekend, based on the outcome of tonight's game, the seedings and who will be playing who in next week's opening round of districts. As we mentioned earlier, the girls' volleyball districts have started this week. Well, football will be starting next week. A little bit of a squib kick picked up there by number 7, Nakai Latham. Not much running room for Nakai, but the York High Bearcats offense coming out here with 7 seconds to go.
With 7 seconds to go, I don't expect York High to do anything special. They may just kneel and get into halftime, figure something out. Talk, work on improvements. The game may be a little bit too far ahead of you right now, but you want to work on some improvements. And I think that's what York High needs to do. They need to have their confidence back up and work on some of their improvements and hold on to the ball and be ready for that kickoff, because that's been their Achilles heel so far in this first half.
And they give to Jaheim White. That may be the final play down the near sideline for us and out of bounds.
And there's 2 seconds to go.
2 seconds remaining. See number 64 for York High, that offensive lineman, Joe Nelson, quite a presence out there on the field anchoring that offensive line for York High. A D1 player looking for an offer from some various FCS schools. Decommitted recently from UConn University. It's their center. Should be the final play before halftime. And they give to Jaheim White.
Jaheim White
spinning
with the spin
around
move.
and brought
Nothing
down.
coming.
And with that, we've arrived at halftime with your score. Central York 45, York High 6. Much to the delight of the Central York fan base here as they make their way back to the locker room. And it's been all Central York.
All Central York. Absolutely, man. They've been all over York High. There's a little bit of extracurricular activities going on. You know, towards the end of that second quarter, frustration starting to set in a little bit for York High. But, you know, I know Coach Russ Stoner, he's good at, you know, keeping his guys in check. He's going to talk to his team. And, you know, they got to come out with some adjustments. I think, you know, they just didn't seem like they were ready.
No, which really surprises me, a game of this magnitude and what was on the line tonight coming into tonight's contest. But still, we have a second half to go here. You would assume that Coach Russ Stoner and the coaching staff of York High will make those adjustments in the second half and mount a comeback against the #1 ranked team in the state in 6A, and that's the Central York Panthers.
Yeah, you come in here, you're thinking like, you know, a lot of these teams, they know each other, right? So you're not really used to, you know, a team from, you know, York County being #1 in the state. So you come in thinking you're playing this Central Ball Club, but you got to remember, you're playing the #1 team in 6A. So you want to come out and play, you know, rough and tough, and, you know, you want to limit your turnovers, and that's something that York High just didn't do in the second half. I mean, in the first half. So in the second half, all they really can do is improve on, you know, some of their mistakes in the first half.
And we've arrived at halftime. We want to give fans some scores from around the league. Bermudian Springs 14, Biglerville 0. Littlestown 21, Fairfield 7. Delone Catholic 8, Hanover 0. New Oxford 23, West York 0. Dallastown all over Red Line in that backyard brawl, 27-8 right now at Horn Field. Spring Grove 7, Southwestern 0. Susquehannock 10, York Suburban 7. Their scores from around the league this Friday night as we come to you live from Central York High School. And it would be a good time once again to emphasize our sponsors for tonight. Basil Insurance. Good friend Greg Basil. Basil Insurance, business since 1999. They have affordable insurance, have been sponsoring us 4 straight seasons. They're located at 2210 West Market Street. You can contact them at 717-792-6400 for all your car, home, business, and life insurance needs. You can also look them on Facebook or their website, insuranceyork.net. Ask for Greg Basil. Insurance. Integrity First Home Buyers. Sports enthusiast Eric Brewer of Integrity First Home Buyers has been an avid supporter of the program for the past 5 seasons. They're located at 2500 Kingston Road, right here in York, Pennsylvania.
Also want to clean that up. That's Union Lutheran Church. I've been saying United, but it's Union Lutheran Church, located at 408 West Market Street. Website is www.unionlutheran.org. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Their phone number is 717-843-7897.
And how about Dean's Auto Plaza, located at 6851 York Road, right in Hanover, Pennsylvania. York and Adams County's area's biggest car and truck dealer. Ask for Bruce. Check them out, Dean's Auto Plaza. And maybe you're going to be hungry post-game. Check out Parma's Pizza of Dallastown. They're located at 1041 Haynes Road or 476 East Main Street. 2 locations for dine-in, pick-up, or delivery. Check them out, Parma's Pizza, ran by Darren Bonaquisti.
And also, some of our fans that's watching the game tonight, if you want to become a sponsor, you can reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, under Dew Jones or Sports Shooting Stars, Todd Edwards, of course, Todd Miller on Facebook. We have different sponsorship tiers, packages. We work with pretty much anybody's, their budget and things like that. We'll make sure you get, online features. We'll have your logo going throughout the whole game, and we also gonna run commercials from here and there.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people ask me, Todd Edwards, where do you get the Todd Edwards? That happens to be my middle name, just to let you know. I get that question from time to time. So we're going to take a break here momentarily. We have about 10 minutes left in halftime. We're going to be back with more action.
And we'll go ahead and fix, the secondary camera with the scoreboard, and also we'll run 2 commercials from Integrity First Home Buyers and also Dean's Auto Plaza. And we'll be back in about 8 minutes.
Sounds good, dude.
So, tell me how it happened.
He seemed a little nervous, and then he got down on one knee. Then he said, "I think it's time we get serious."
Then what?
Opened up a box, and it was everything I could have asked for.
The free year of roadside assistance?
And the free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty.
You mean?
He went to Dean's.
Woo!
They're so cute when they get their first truck.
Dean's Auto Plaza. We are Hanover's truck giant.
Life can change quickly. At Integrity First Home Buyers, we are honored to be able to provide real solutions to real life challenges. In fact, our team of professional home buyers has helped thousands of individuals, couples, and families sell their home. Meanwhile, beautifying the neighborhood, improving property values, and bettering the community one home at a time.
For a fair cash offer on your home, call Integrity First Home Buyers today.
We're back, sports fans. It's Todd Edwards as the teams are making their way back onto the field here. Central York right in front here. They have made their way back onto the field, as York High has, as we're getting ready to start the second half of this ball game. Central will receive the ball in the second half. I want to give some stats here. Jaheim White for York High, 17 carries for 219 yards. And 1 touchdown run of 80 yards for Jaheim White, certainly the player of the game for York High so far in the first half. Bo Perbola, 12 for 20 for 154 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Also ran for 72 yards on 11 carries and 3 touchdowns. Certainly Bo, the player of the game for Central York right now. And the score right now at halftime, Central York 45, York High 6. And I have a feeling here in the second half, we're going to have the running clock in effect. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, when you're ahead by at least 35 points, there's a running clock. And as the players are, for Central York, warming up on the field right now. I want to remind the fans that are tuned in watching us to follow us on Facebook or Instagram for more information regarding the district playoff games, which will start next week. And there's a good chance that we'll be broadcasting at least one game with districts. And while we have a moment right now, let's go around the league for some scores again. Bermudian Springs 21, Biglerville 0. Littlestown 28, Fairfield 7. Delone Catholic 8, Hanover 0. New Oxford 23, West York 0. Dallastown all over Red Lion tonight, 27-8 in the backyard brawl at Horn Field. Spring Grove 21, Southwestern 0. And Susquehannock 10, York Suburban 10. Okay, sports fans, we're about ready for kickoff here to start the second half of the game. York High getting set to kick the ball off. And it looks as if the rain has started to pick up and get heavier here to start the second half.
Yeah, Todd, I was down on the field fixing our scoreboard camera, and that rain and that wind is something else. I mean, you have to actually be out there and playing it to see what's going on. Big shout out to both these ball clubs, you know, for sticking it out and playing in this tough game.
And he's still on his feet. This would be number 2.
And I have a little tidbit, Todd. Like I said, I was down on the field, and I saw Jaheim White coming out the tunnel. He's one of the last guys to come out the tunnel. He was a little bit gimpy. He was holding his stomach, so I don't know if that's a muscle strain a cramp or what's going on, but I do not believe Jaheim White is at 100% going into the second half. Even at 90 or 80%, he's still better than most athletes. But, you know, they need him at 100% to finish out this game.
No doubt about it. And right now, the offense back on the field, there's Jules Goff with a carry.
And this second half is an opportunity for York High to show that they have grit and they play with pride. They have to limit their turnovers and get a couple stops. So far, Central York has scored on every possession where they had the ball, you know. So, you know, York High has to stop them at least once to get that momentum, you know, and then go back to, you know, what works for them, and that's that ground game. And I haven't seen any passes to Janai Sims or Jaquez Simmons as well. These are two guys who are can pick up a lot of yardage for York High, and they haven't had the ball thrown to them one time so far in this game.
Well, no, they've had one pass in the first half, York High.
Only one pass in the first half.
Yeah, 8 penalties for York High in the first half. Only 1 penalty for Central York. Again, a running
several
clock.
turnovers, several turnovers from York High to start this first half.
Sweep. Here, Manigault looking for some extra running room. Can't get much there on that play. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Central York. And it doesn't appear to be as there's many fans in the stands for York High.
No.
And in some ways, based on the way the team's playing and the way the weather conditions are right now,
you almost got to
understand.
You almost got to expect that. You almost got to respect it as well. You understand it's very hard conditions. They did come out in the rain. They sat there, but, you know, with a 40-point lead darn near. You want to think about your own health, your own safety, and, you know, getting warm and getting dry. So, and I know a lot of their fans are watching
on Sports Shooting Stars.
Sports Shooting Stars,
yeah,
correct.
Watching our broadcast in the comfort of their own home.
I know there's other, media outlets that's filming this game tonight, but we're the people's choice. So, you know, they
we
like
bring
to tune
the game
in
to them. Yes,
Absolutely.
as they say. Bo rolling to his left, looking to throw the ball downfield and complete to wide open to Amir Manigault. 1st down and more down inside the 45-yard line. And a big pass and catch there. And really keeps this Central York offense out on the field again.
And really, Todd, to be honest with you, York High has not have any equalizer or any stops for Bo Pregula. He's just a one-man wrecking show.
Is.
And it's one of those games where, you know, just one player just outshines almost a whole team. And that's what you see right now from Bo Pregula.
You know, they talk about a difference maker. That it factor, he has that. It's on display. And we've seen him all season long. And I would imagine, I expect that to carry on into the districts and ultimately the states for the Central York Panther Ball Club.
I had an opportunity to watch Bo progress since he's been in 6th grade, and he's always been a high caliber athlete.
There's Jules Goff running room. It's almost a 1st down. And I'll tell you what, that's a statement run there by Jules Goff.
And that's a tough run from Joel's Goff, number 26,
sophomore. A sophomore.
Yeah.
He'll be back for another 2 years.
If I'm not mistaken, that's also I know his brother is Noriega Goff. He used to also play for Central York, but Joel's Goff, if I'm not mistaken, I think he put on around 12 to 13 pounds of muscle over the last year. So he really bulked up a little bit, and he will be the featured back for Central York in the years to come.
Trips formation near side for Central York. And they give to Jules Goff, and send wide up the middle. He's gone 20, 15, 10, 5. He can walk in. Touchdown, Jules Goff. A 34-yard touchdown run,
One quick move, and he's gone. And again, Central York is doing it on the air and on the ground. So, whatever they want to do right now, they can do it. I mean, York has not yet to stop them, not one time, and it's
2 touchdown runs for the sophomore. A 34-yard touchdown run, now a 25-yard touchdown run. A statement game tonight, and soon to be a statement win for this Central York Ball Club.
I happen to know Joel's Goff parents, Fred Goff, and his mother, Maina. I know his brother, Noriega, as well. I forgot his other brother's name off the top of my head, but he has a huge family. I know they're all here supporting him tonight.
Bo's going to keep it and runs in for the 2-point conversion,
Yes.
I can't believe what we're witnessing here tonight,
It's one of those lopsided victories in a rivalry game. That's basically what's happening tonight. You expect they go back and forth, but sometimes you have a lopsided victory or, lopsided score and so forth. That's what Central York is bringing.
53 points. This team's come in averaging 44 points. Well, they've surpassed that tonight. And
it looks like, Todd, I'm sorry not to cut you off, it looks like, Central York is going to host a home district game with this win.
Wait, it's my understanding with the win tonight, they would have home field advantage throughout districts.
Wow.
And that's big.
That's
not just
huge.
big for the Central York Ball Club, but for the community as well here in the Greater York. Because can you imagine the crowds on a dry night? Now, this is an exception to the rule tonight with the wet crowd and a lot of fans tuned into our broadcast at home as they sit in front of the fireplace with their bottled water and popcorn. We do see Jaheim White is back to receive the kick here.
I want to tell the fans to bear with us. The score right now is 53-6. Our scoreboard cam got blown over again. It's down there on the field. It's high winds tonight. It's another squib kick.
Another squib kick to the up man.
I want to tell the fans, just bear with us. I'm going to go back down on the field again and see if I can get that camera situated.
I out of habit, always like to reiterate the score many times where we're in the third quarter with 8:04 to go. Central York 53, York High 6. Yes, you heard me right. Central York 53, York High 6. And it's been all Central York tonight as they will finish this season presumably with an undefeated record of 10-0 as they prepare themselves for districts, which those announcements and seedings will come out Sunday. And, another miss, that low snap there. Jaquiz Simmons looking for running room and brought down for a loss on that play. And dude, do you sense a lot of things for York High are just snowballing right now for this Bearcat team?
Yeah, I don't see much coming out of York High so far in this game, but they got to stick to their game plan, run their game plan, and do what they need to do just to get some yards down the field. Even just picking up a couple first downs and just keeping the ball out of Central York's hands, because each time, I think they had 7 to 8 possessions, they scored each time. And you can't win any football games when you don't have any stops on defense.
And it's interesting, they opened the season with a loss. We filmed that game. Another missed snap there. Picks it up, looking for some running room, and not much at all. Just brought down hard. Sam Stoner there by Central.
And right now, just looking at
Smith.
Just looking at the guys that's out. I'm sorry, Todd. Just looking at the guys that's out there right now for Central York, looks like it's a mix-up of pretty much the starters and some of the reserves. So they're starting to get some of their other guys involved.
Getting some playing time for the valuable sophomores. Yeah, I sense York High's in no hurry here offensively, with just under 6.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter in a running clock situation now. York High opened the season with a loss to Governor Mifflin. And another missed snap, and he's just getting rid of the ball. And incomplete. We'll bring up a 4th down and 21. Ball on the 14-yard line. Looks like Sam Stoner's back in punt formation for the Bearcats. No one back to receive for Central York. And a miss. And it picked up there.
And that's a fumble recovery for number 77.
Ray Bell looks like he fell on that.
And Ray Bell also know his parents as well, Ralph Bell and Amy Bell. So, big shout out to his
proud
parents.
moment there as Ray Bell falls on that fumble and recovers it for Central. And Central back on offense and ideal field position, It looks like the ball set up at about the 6-yard line of York High. And
here's the thing, Todd. There was there could have been a mutual agreement, I believe, to play this game tomorrow where there had been less rain. And you wonder, hindsight's 20/20, right? you wonder, if York High wanted to pick this game up in, not these conditions, because there's been several turnovers, and I've never seen York High have this many turnovers and just be kind of out of sync.
Out of sync, really.
In a game like this, man.
Josh Walker looking for running room. A flag thrown on that play.
At the end of this quarter, I'll go down and try to fix the scoreboard clock one more time, even though I don't think the scoreboard is a huge factor right now in this game.
Well, you mentioned the score. Let me give it to the viewers tuned in. Central York 53, York High 6. The running clock is in effect.
And you got to give a lot of credit, to Central York's offensive coordinator, their coach. They did a lot of misdirections, a lot of, trick plays, I would say, or next level plays in the first half that really had York High unexpected and not expecting them, to do as much as they've done, to start the game. And they got out to a 21-0 start.
Well, the defensive coordinator, Michael
5 minutes.
Cesariano of Central, containing 6 points, York High. And granted, Jaheim White had his running yards, but
yes,
6 points only for the York High Bearcats.
Big shout out to Coach Says.
There's Jules Goff right up the middle. He can walk it in, too.
And that's his third touchdown.
A 15-yard touchdown run by Jules Goff.
And this may be that breakout game for Jules Goff.
As a sophomore sensation.
Mm-hmm. As I said before, he will be the featured back for Central York in the years to come.
59-6 right now, Dew, and at what point, are there any questions as to who the number 1 team in 6A is right now, Dew? Because this York High Ball Club came in with a 7-1 record.
Absolutely. A lot of people were expecting this game to be a lot closer and, to kind of, to see where York High is at and where Central York is at. And, tonight, Central York is definitely the better team. They have no turnovers, and that's huge when you're playing in these type of conditions. And at this state in the game, this is their 10th game of the regular season.
Oh, no, some of the pop-up tents kind of blowing around there. You talk about the wind conditions, Dew, and they better anchor those pop-up tents because it can get nasty getting hit by one of those. I've been on the beach when I've seen some of those flying around. And
and as you can see, that's the same thing happened with our scoreboard cam. The winds down below are very vicious. So
we're kind of somewhat protected in here in the press box tonight, thankfully. Want to give a shout out to retiring Marty Trimmer, who has 41 years of service with Central York School District. His quote, "It's great to be a Panther." Well, this is his final season. And Marty Trimmer was always very accommodating for us coming in here. It was really one of the first schools and ADs to allow us to come in and film games, just nearly 5 years ago. Big shout out to Marty Trimmer, and best of luck in his retirement, well-deserved.
And right now, Central York has an opportunity to hit that 61 mark, and that's basketball numbers, to be honest with you, when you're playing football.
Number. Matthew Parker, the freshman, out for the point after attempt. Snap is down, the kick is up, and good. And your score, Central York 60. They've reached 60. York High 6. I got to have standing here, coming into tonight's broadcast and talking to a lot of the fans. I thought this game would have been a lot closer. It's kind of gotten out of hand for York High, and of course York High is going to have to regroup and get ready for districts. Coming into tonight's game, they were ranked number 4 in 6A. I'm not sure with this loss how that will affect their seeding. But on the opposite side, Central York will retain that number 1 spot, and for Central York Panthers, they'll be hosting some district playoff games. Remember last season we went on the road up to Central Dauphin and broadcasted their game up there, and should be fun watching district football with the Central York Panthers.
And also just got a comment or pretty much a message from Corey Richard. He gave me the 6A Penn Live rankings, and they have North Penn as the number 1 team in 6A. they have Mount Lebanon as number 2 team in 6A, and Central York as the number 3 team in 6A.
Yeah,
all 3 teams undefeated.
Yeah, when we talk about the 6A ranking, I think it was from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, which mirrors the York Daily Record, in terms of coverage. But nevertheless, they're going to be a formidable team to contend with in districts and states potentially.
Yeah, one of our good friends, Paul Burdette, he's on the line. He lets us know what's going on as well, what he sees, and he even, begged the question: should Central York move up to the Mid-Penn League? And there's a couple people, entities that talk about Central York moving up, especially when you dominate a team like York High, who's pretty much,
a good team.
Yeah,
they're a good team coming
Absolutely.
in here, 7-1. Their lone loss was Governor Mifflin. And Jaheim White back on the field, down the near sideline.
And again, like I said, Jaheim White is pretty much running on fumes from my advantage. I saw him holding his stomach. He's taking a while to get back on the field here and there.
And Jaheim getting tangled up there on the sideline with Trayshawn Smith there.
Yeah, but Jaheim White's one of them kids. He'll never let you know he's injured. He's never going to let the competition know he's down. He has a lot of grit and a lot of pride when he plays. But from my vantage point, I know that something is going on with him. Something is wrong as far as his health. I don't think he's 100% right now, but he's still out there, giving his effort.
Still solid effort for Florida tonight. Over 200 yards rushing, an 80-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, the blocking is starting to be depleted right now for York High's offense.
And you mentioned, a lot of secondary players are in on the defensive side for the Central York Panthers.
And it looks like York High is very content with this going to Jaheim White almost 90% of this game. And, you want to work the ball around and get to different guys. And Jaheim right now is taking a break, and I think that's well rested. His night could even be over, to be honest with you.
You wonder. Good point there, dude. With this lead the way you keep a talent like Jaheim White still in this game and possibly risk injury.
Absolutely.
And there it is, Cheshire, the running back now, and
that's
York
a good run.
High. Positive yardage for Johnny Cheshire.
And you wonder, with a win like this, where Central might move in the rankings, with Penn Live and, just in general, because it's going to be a lot of talk throughout this, for the next week, but really this next weekend where, where things are starting to, take fold as far as the district, who's going to be at what position, who's going to play against who's going to have home field advantage. So Central York did a great job of, securing this lead and getting this YAIAA championship.
And it will be their 3rd win against York High, and a first down there by running back Johnny Cheshire for York High.
You weren't busy doing data?
That's good for a first down.
Yeah, crypto data.
York High opened the season with that loss to Governor Mifflin, and will finish the regular season with a loss here against Central York. 2 top teams in 5A and 6A.
Yeah, without a doubt, York High is battle tested. They know they play against some of the top teams in the state of Pennsylvania. And tonight you can see one of the top teams of Central York they're playing against. And like I said, York High can knock off a lot of teams. They just have to really get it together and be ready for the mental part of the game and work on their special teams. I think the special teams was exposed this game. They really need to work on that.
Johnny Cheshire not running the right way here. He's heading back. Looking for some positive yardage,
and that's one of those plays where you run about 30 yards, but still lose, 8 yards on the carry. So
we've arrived at the end of the 3rd quarter with your score: Central York 60, York High 6. And we'll have our final 12 minutes of this contest, and if you're York High and their fans, it may not be able to end quick enough. In terms of being down,
I think York High
by 54 points. I would never have thought this, coming into tonight's contest. I thought of a much closer contest.
And this reminds me when Bo was a freshman, 3 years ago, York High ran the score up against Central York like that. And, you
Down
know,
at the
ever
Meadows,
since Bo was implemented in that game when Cade, his brother, went out. And you know, York High put a licking on Central York. It seems like, you know, Bo has that, you know, that game circled on his calendar every year, because he has not lost to York High since that situation where he got injected into the game after his brother got injured. And, you know, he's been really playing really good football when it comes to playing against York High.
His sophomore year has taken over that starting quarterback position. Cade, his brother, at the University of Delaware, playing as quarterback.
And as a full-time starter, as a full-time starter, Bo Perbula has not lost a game against York High.
No, he's been quite dominating, and it's on display tonight. And I have a feeling it's going to carry over into district play and potentially state play. And another snap there and brought down. Another low snap.
And again, Todd, York High can't get anything going. I mean, from offense to defense, this has been probably one of their worst games overall. But again, this is a game you have to feed off of. You have to watch the tape. You got to see what you got to get better at. Because, you know, when you go to district play, it only takes one game to win to advance. So, you know, they got to watch this game. You know, have a quick memory. By Monday, they have to put it in their memory bank and move on.
And get ready for districts.
And I'm going to go down here, Todd, and see if I can get the scoreboard camera to work again. So
okay.
Be back in a few.
Bring up a 3rd down and 24 right now for York High, moving left to right on your TV screen in their white jersey. And another missed snap, and it lays on, and a 4th down now. And problems with the snap, and it's just been one thing after another here for the York High Bearcats, with a running clock in effect, under 11 minutes to go here. Central York 60, York High 6. It looks like York High is going to punt it off here with a 4th down and forever. Sam Stoner, not just the quarterback, but the punter for the Bearcats. And gets the punt off. Barely gets it off, rolls inside the 35, inside the 30, down to near the 25-yard line. And Central York's offense going to come back onto the field. Good time to mention our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Thank you for your sponsorship. Basil Insurance, Integrity First Home Buyers, S3 Performance Training, Prestige Motor Cars of York, the York Area Flag Football League, Parma Pizza of Dallastown, Beans Auto Plaza, and Union Lutheran Church. All sponsors for tonight's broadcast. As a lot of secondary players now have entered Central York's offense. Quarterback Nazir Still is in for Central York. And a timeout call by the Central York Panthers. They're going to think things over here on senior night. I'm going to give a score, an update from Red Lion. Dallastown 35, Red Lion 8 in the 3rd quarter. Our correspondent Jacob Paps on duty there at Horn Field, and it's been all Dallastown in the backyard brawl at Horn Field. .10:08 to go here. And again, a lot of secondary players have entered for Central York. Nazir Stills in, and a running play. Joel's Goff running down past the 40-yard line. And correction, that was number 21, Niger DeWitt on the run. Again, a lot of secondary players have entered the offense for Central. Allows some of these players to get some valuable playing time here. in the waning minutes of this game with just under 9.5 minutes to go. And a handoff to number 24, Kevin Llewellyn, running back for Central York, getting a carry. Central York 60, York High 6, with just under 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. And the 2021 Division I champs in YAIAA will be your Central York Panthers, with a big win, a statement win tonight over York High Bearcats. Nazir Still, a junior, listed at 5'11", 160 pounds, in quarterback for Central York, and I would imagine it'll be a steady dose of running here. Mikey Gray with a big hit there on number 24, Kevin Llewellyn. It'll be a 3rd down and 7, ball on the 46-yard line of Central. Just over 8 minutes to go here in the fourth and final quarter. My broadcast partner stepped aside here to fix the camera, and with the wind and the sheets of rain coming down here, and a wet night here tonight, Central York. Thank the fans for staying tuned tonight for Sports Shooting Stars. You can reach us on Facebook and Instagram. And a running play. Roland Washington with the sack. Tyler Fry with the carry. They're number 81, getting a touch. Just over 7 minutes remain here in the fourth quarter. My broadcast partner came back from the monsoon. How is it down there in field level, Dew?
It's windy and it's cold.
Windy,
but,
it's cold.
You know,
well, we're going to make our way down on the field for the player of the game, and
yeah.
And I have to say, standing here, the player of the game.
It's undoubtedly Bo Prabula.
Bo Prabula again. It never really gets old saying it, but he's going to be our player of the game tonight. A great effort by Bo.
And that's Nasir Steele, number 14.
14, I mentioned that. He's in quarterback, fit in the final minutes of this broadcast.
And he's projected to be the starting quarterback next year for Central York. So keep an eye on number 14, Najee Steele. Father, Keith Steele, also a coach for the junior York Central Panthers. And he was also a safety quarterback back in his day, his heyday as well. His mother's a principal, I believe, at Devers. I may be wrong about that, but I know she's a principal. So the family is all into the education and playing sports. He has a little brother, Najee Still, who's a quarterback for the 8th grade team for Central York.
Precious.
And so far,
Genovina
Central York has shown,
like,
York High has been very basic, one-dimensional in this game as far as giving the ball to Jaheim White, 90% of the time, which we knew was going to happen. But in games like this, you got to, you got to have some more tricks in your bag.
Yeah.
And you got to get more people involved if you want to win, because one player can't just dominate, all the time.
And certainly, we found out Central York had some tricks in the bag tonight.
Yeah.
Special teams, and they were clearly the more dominant team tonight. And a big run.
Want to give a big shout out also to the fans that came out in this monsoon weather. It's very cold. It's
cold.
Pretty much
damp.
November.
All but a couple more days, and celebrating Halloween Sunday. Glad we didn't wear our costumes tonight. We brought more of our rain gear, and thankfully we were inside the press box tonight. We're normally outside, so not tonight, however, in the elements, in the press box.
Also want to give a quick shout out. My mom is watching tonight, Darnella Brown. I I believe my sister's also watching, Carmen Brown, so big shout out to them. Thanks for tuning into the game. Maybe not as entertaining as, as our other games, but it's still the county championship game.
It is.
So between two teams that they're very familiar with, which is York High, Central York. Also going to tell the fans, as far as the scoreboard camera, I mean, down on that field, it's a lot of wind, and the camera keeps spinning around, so we're just going to let it go for the rest of the game. Right now, the score is 60-6. Central York is in full control with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, York High driving here in the waning minutes of this game.
Correction, Nazir Still dad, Keith Still, is a principal at Devers, not his mother. I made a mistake by that. Good looking, Paul Burdett.
Precious Gina Nima with another run.
And I don't know about you, Todd. I think it's pretty cool that, we get a chance to film these student athletes playing the game. We get a chance to meet their parents, their loved ones. And, just to get, in touch with the community, I think is a really good thing. It's not like we're just filming kids that we never see. We see their parents, we see their, them out there playing.
Out and about, yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting. Can you imagine just if the weather was dry tonight, just how many fans would have been here in attendance? This place would have just been standing room only. It's unfortunate the weather conditions tonight with the weather, but it played to our benefit because I'm sure there were a lot of fans that stayed home and tuned into Sports Shooting Stars tonight.
Yeah,
and we thank them for their support.
And when they do the schedule, that's by design. They want these two teams to meet each other at the end of the year and had all the hype build up. And normally it is for the county championship, as it is this year. So, they got to understand, when it's the end of the game, when it's the last game of the season, of the regular season, you're going to have conditions that are not going to be ideal.
EJ right and up the middle, and first down and more.
Secures
10-yard
first down.
And just over 2 minutes to go here. Central York 60, York High 6. A 54-point lead.
And this place is going to erupt, Todd. They're like I said, they don't take anything for granted. This is a YAIAA championship game. That's what they want. They're going to knock that off their list. Their next, accomplishment should be the District 3.
Oh, big hit there by multiple Central defenders. Anime Grove there with a tackle for Central.
And this is the type of momentum that a team like Central York wants to have going into districts, especially having hosting a home game for district, which gives them an advantage to keep on moving forward.
Want to remind our fans that are tuned in tonight to follow Sports Shooting Stars on Facebook and Instagram for further announcements on a possible broadcast of a district game once the schedule's soon to be released this Sunday, Halloween this Sunday. Happy Halloween to our viewers that are tuned in tonight. Just over a minute to go here again. Fans, Central York 60, York High 6. And my broadcast partner, Dew Jones, and I, we're going to make our way down to the field and have an interview with player of the game, Bo Prebola. And what a statement win tonight for Central York over a good York High ball club. But they just weren't good enough tonight against the Central York club as they dominated the Bearcats tonight.
Yes, we'll tell the fans to stay tuned for the post-game interview.
PJ trying to fight for that yardage.
And there's only 27 seconds to go. You wonder if York High is going to run another play just to get a touchdown. York High has 20 seconds to go until the end of the game.
And 3 timeouts, by the way. Yeah, they have the
And it looks like they're not laying down at all. They're going to go for this touchdown with 10 seconds to go. If they can get the snap off, Todd. Sam Stoner in shotgun.
They're going to give it to number 17.
And this is the last play here.
We're waiting for the word, and it is a touchdown by number 17, Precious PJ Jenanima. And a 3-yard touchdown run.
There was over 72 points scored in this championship game, and the bulk of those points came from Central York.
No doubt about it, do an impressive performance tonight. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion and give it to PJ right up the middle for 2. And that gives Central York 60, York High 14. RB.
You.
We're going to get Bo for a player of the game.
RB. Bo and Joel. And a lot of fans, we asked about who's going to play of the game, and of course, a lot of fans want to see Bo Prabula. He has got all 4 of our shirts every game that we film pretty much. But this game, we're also going to get Bo Prabula because he had a great performance, and also Joel's goal.
Yeah.
I know his parents are watching.
3 touchdown runs.
As a sophomore, he played really big in this championship game.
And rightly so. So we'll go with co-player of the game tonight.
And then again, York High has to know the weather's not going to get any better moving forward. They may have to play in the rain again or in cold conditions. They have to really, shore up their front line, and also they're, holding on to the ball. And their special teams. I think the special teams was overlooked this game, and Central exploited that very well.
A squib kick there, short pooch. And that will be your final score. Central York 60, York High 14.
And it looks like Central York is starting to celebrate. York High is starting to walk off the field. It's been a long night for York High.
It has. A statement win for Central York. And a lot of the players, as you can see, are making their way back to the locker room area. And rightly so, to get dried off tonight after an impressive win by Central York. And Central York can put an exclamation point on the end of this game tonight, because they earned it in a big win, as they are perfect on the year with a 10-0 mark.
10-0 mark. That's 2 undefeated YAIA. That's actually their 3rd county championship in a row. So that's 3 in a row for Central York, which is creating somewhat of a dynasty out here for Central York, winning 3 championships in a row.
Should we make our way down the field? I see Bo's down there.
He's getting a quick interview.
He is.
If you can make it down before he gets in the tunnel.
Do we have?
Yeah, we got a T-shirt, and I'm gonna give Bo a hat and give Joel a T-shirt.
You want to come down with it? Come on down.
Yeah,
let's go. He's still there. Picture.
I'll be down.
Where do you want us to do? I mean, like,
Probably right about there. That's like I said,
right about where they're.
Yeah, you want to hurt me catch it before you walk through fast.
Well, do you have a shirt or anything? Are you bringing the shirt down, or?
Everything's over here. I'm gonna give Bo this. I'm gonna give Joel's this.
You want to come down? Or?
I'll be down.
Okay.
Like that all the time. Like I tell him, yo, bro, like that, you got one thing to do, just do it. Like I got other things. Like I'm trying to talk to Trav, like.
Sports fans, it's Todd Edwards. I'm down here in the elements awaiting Bo Prabula and the coach. If they could come over here, we'll get a few minutes with both of them here as they Coach Janchek greeting some of the fans. It's wet, it's soggy, but we wouldn't have it any other way for a little football on this Friday. And Bo, one of our players of the game, he's going to make their way out here on the field as some of the fans that are still here. Bo, do you have a few minutes here? It's Todd Edwards. Bo meeting some of the fans here. Bo, congratulations. I mean, 3 touchdown runs, 3 touchdown passes. What went into tonight's game plan for you?
Really just we knew the weather was going to be really bad, so we had to take care of the football, and that was the main thing for me. You know, don't force anything. You just have to take it play by play, and, you know, some things opened up, and we had some big plays early, and we knew we just had to jump on them.
No, you did jump on that final touchdown run. I noticed a lot of energy on you when you went in the end zone. Tell the fans a little bit about that, because I know earlier out here on the sidelines there was some chicanery that went on.
Yeah, I mean, I was just having fun, really. You know, I was just pumped up. I got in the end zone and just having fun out here in the rain, so that's all it was.
No doubt about it. It's like little kids playing out in the rain, playing a sport you love. Next focus, you got to be, thinking about districts, and with this pounding against York High, your thoughts heading into districts?
Yeah, well, District 3 playoffs, anything can happen. It's a different game. I know the boys are going to be really locked in. We're going to enjoy this one for about a day maybe, and then, you know, we're going to really prepare hard, and because, you know, we want to get and, you know, go back and do what we did last year.
Yeah, my broadcast partner's here. Bo's here. What are you going to say?
Great job.
I mean, this never gets old having Bo join us. I mean, 4 times player of the game here?
Well, 4 times player of the game. He got all our memorabilia, so you got.
He's got a new item, not a T-shirt, but a beanie.
Put that on right now, man.
You
Put it on.
need that. Yeah, put that on.
You got all our stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. Look,
you need that. There it is. That's what it's all about, brother. Hey, that was one of the best games I saw you play, man. That kind of reminds me of the Central Dolphin game last year. I mean, you came in fired up, and you know, you had a great game, man. And it's not too much more I can say, man. But it's going into the districts. What's your game plan going into the districts? Now you guys know you have home field advantage.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's the first time we have home field advantage in playoffs. Well, last year, but like since 2013, realistically. So. We're going to prepare. We're going to find out the opponent that we have. And then,
this Sunday, I think they're going to make an announcement in terms of where you. But it's got to feel good that you're going to have home field advantage right here on your home field.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully it's dry and enjoy another game as a senior here in Panther Stadium. But you know, we just got to prepare, and you know, I know these guys want to keep winning.
Absolutely, man. I know your mom, your dad. I know Kay's watching, so you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah.
Tell you, hey,
what do you want to say to Kay?
3 county
he told me once on the sideline he's a better quarterback than you. You got to say something about that.
I'm just going to give Kay a shout out. I know he's doing his thing. You know, thank him for everything.
Yeah, that's 3 county championships in a row for you guys, man. So, you know, congratulations, man. And, you know, go celebrate with your team, brother.
Go get dry.
See you later, man.
Well, let's get a picture here real quick with the player of the game, Bo Prabula, Dew Jones. Again, it never gets old.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Have a good day.
Stay dry.
Tell your fans I said hi.
Yep.
And here we have
Bo, we got another co-player of the game. Get out of here. Joel's gone.
It was only a matter of time, brother.
No, I mean, you had to go dry off a little bit.
The camera's right up there, man.
Camera's right up. First of all, would you like to say anything to your friends and family watching?
We just came out here. We just did our thing. Everybody knew what was going to be the outcome of this. We thought it was going to be a dogfight. We came in. We got the outcome. And, yeah.
Oh, you definitely got the outcome. And not only that, 1, not 2, but 3 touchdown runs. Tell the viewers a little bit about what went into that.
This was your breakout game.
Big breakout game as a sophomore sensation.
I just came out here, just stay humble, just did my thing, stay loose, you know.
Yeah, and
I open up, and I was going.
Yeah, in a couple games that we filmed this year, we said, you know, you are going to be the featured back in the next couple of years for Central York. You came out, had a really good game for your county championship with a guy like Bo and the rest of the guys on your team, man. So I know you guys are really happy. We want to give you a player of the game shirt.
You've earned it, no doubt about it. You have earned this. Player of the game, 3 big touchdown runs. He may need it on a night like this. Long sleeve, there you go.
It says on there, hard work plus talent equals student athlete. So you did a great job. RB, take a picture if you could. I know his mom's here. She's taking a picture.
They're taking a picture.
She's very
Let's get
happy.
it in here real quick. Joel's Golf running back for Central York. A dominating game tonight as they get ready for districts. Much deserved, man.
You'll give a shout out to your brothers, man. I know they're watching somewhere, man.
Anything else you'd like to say to your friends and family watching?
No, just stay tuned for the playoffs.
Stay tuned for the playoffs. You heard it right there. From co-player of the game, Joel's Golf tonight.
All right, man. See you later, man. Great
job, man.
Go celebrate
Stay
with your
dry,
team, man. County championship.
County championships and districts await this team, and much deserved, do.
Yeah. It was a family affair out here. Like I said, York High came out. They was ready, but they really wasn't ready for the onslaught that Central York had. And, they had to bounce back and play a lot better, if they want to be, competitors, especially in districts, because you don't want that to lay over into the district game with having a loss like this. They want to go back, look at the tape.
Back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing
and
board.
I know
Coach Russ Stoner will do that for this ball club. So, fans,
we have Coach Johnson's here real quick, so you may have a chance to say something to him real fast since we're already in the rain.
We are
you
in the
might as well
rain.
do another minute or
my
two.
My hair's not getting messed up here as I'm live on television. Both Dew Jones and I are.
Yes.
And it feels good. We're probably one of the remaining people here, left standing in the rain, but doing what we love here and talking to Joel's Golf, Bo Prabula.
Super sophomore Bo Prabula put on some big-time numbers like he always does.
Yeah, and we're awaiting word. Coach Gary Yonchek.
Jacob. My buddy Jacob here. How's it going,
Jacob's
Mitchell?
here. Yeah, Mitchell. Good. How are you doing, man?
Feeling great after that win.
That's right,
feeling
man.
great.
County champs.
Yeah, we're going to keep taking it, man. We're not satisfied.
All right, that's good,
we
man.
won it all this year, and, we're going to do it this year.
Yep. On to districts, and another home game here, more than likely, next Friday. So.
We come out here every day, and, we get better every day.
Well, absolutely. Turn around here, Jay. I mean, your back's to the camera. Jacob Mitchell came out, dried off now a little bit, but ready for districts, right, Jake?
We're definitely ready for districts,
Coach
man.
says.
Would you like to say anything to anybody watching, maybe your friends and family?
We're going to keep. Hold on a second. Let me put this on. We're going to keep going, all right? We're going to keep going to the state championship. We're going to win this year.
There you go. You heard it right from Jacob Mitchell. State championship, this time winning at the sweetest place on earth at Hershey Park Stadium.
It was great catching up with
Yep.
you guys, man.
Yep.
All right, see you soon, man.
Take care.
Got a few minutes here, and we're going to probably be on air for about another 2 more minutes before we get up out of here. We don't want to stay out here too long, get too sick. We got Coach Michael Cesarano.
Nick Cesarano, defensive coordinator.
His wife,
he's
his
out
family's
here.
watching from home.
You
stand
might
here
as
in the
well,
middle.
join in here. I mean, we got
there.
the defensive coordinator. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
You contained York High, to 6 points initially, and then they got the touchdown there in the waning minutes.
That's right. Yeah, we big defensive effort. It helped that they couldn't really hold on to the ball tonight, and also our guys. I tell you what, they fly around and make plays. I'm just proud of Trenton Dunnick for stepping up and stepping in for Carter Glassmeyer. When you lose your middle linebacker, you never know how your defense is going to react.
Absolutely.
And Trennick stepped in as the Mike linebacker and performed flawlessly.
Yes,
really.
he did. Yeah, he had a real good game. I tell you what, man, he's figuring that stuff out, and I can't wait to watch him in the playoffs now.
And give us a little bit of your game plan going into the game, going against York High with defensive specialists as you are, going against a guy like Jaheim White and, Janah Sims. So what was the game plan going into this game?
Well, I tell you what, I love our athletes that we got back there in the secondary. So we were going to play man the entire game and just, put 8 guys in the box and to contain Jaheim and, dare them to throw against us. Because I tell you what, I like our guys against anybody.
We got one passing attempt in the first half, so it was a real run-oriented game plan for York High.
Definitely the momentum you want to have going into districts and having an outpour of points and also having that defensive stand that you guys did so far in this game.
Yeah, I tell you what, hopefully we can take this momentum and go on a nice run like we did last year.
I know your wife's watching, man, so you want to go ahead and say hi to your wife.
Hey, Jenny, how you doing? Good to see you.
She's probably watching in the comfort of your own home,
yes,
right?
she is.
Nice and dry and warm, so.
My son actually ended up falling asleep at halftime, but that's all right, though. He saw the good stuff.
All right, that's good. That's good. He
job,
knew Daddy had it locked down.
No doubt.
See you later.
Congratulations,
Coach Y, we need a second.
Y,
We need a second.
We're
How's it
talking to
going?
everybody.
Right,
Congratulations. Back at it again. A big win. Tell the viewers a little bit about this big win tonight. 60 points by your team.
Just ecstatic, first of all, with how well we played. It starts with Bo. Yeah, everything filters through him offensively. He's such a dynamic player. And, even with the wet weather, our guys really, really wanted to play. So everything that we tried to do, we just got clicking, and we started rolling with it, and then they had a difficult time holding on to the ball. So that felt tremendous.
I had to give you a lot of credit in the first half for some of your plays, the misdirections, and just the next level of coaching. I mean, that's something that really, a lot of the fans I was watching was really surprised. What was the game plan going into this game as far as on the offensive side? Because a lot of people thought you guys were going to go strictly to the ground game, but you didn't stop the air raid attack. You still had your game plan intact.
You have to do that, and sometimes, guys, with the air raid, if you could keep a dry football on the field, you could throw it, because defensively you have to play off a little more caution, because you don't know exactly, we know the receiver knows where he's running on his route. The quarterback knows where he's going. But defensively, just the same thing when we're on defense. You really don't know where what the receiver's going to do. So I liked our chances if we threw it. They were extremely aggressive, so we caught them on some screens, and just tried to, it's just playing chess with the DC, but things just happened to work out because they're so aggressive. So we tried to counter punch everything they were throwing at us.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. The misdirections, some of the play calling kind of reminds me of that game last year. I told Bo against Central Dauphin when you guys kind of pulled everything out the bag and just did a lot of different things. And that's what you need to do moving forward into the district. Keep the defense on their heels.
I think you have to keep them off balance and not knowing. So they're just not going to just key on Bo. But the jet sweeps were good with Manny because he gets outside. And the nice part about that, and we've only been running the last couple of weeks, is it's an incomplete pass. So even in this, quagmire tonight, if he drops it, incomplete. So you play it, but he didn't, and had some really nice, runs to get outside. Bo's ability to take the ball and, when things weren't there and run with it, I thought was exceptional. And the guy said that he had 6 touchdowns in the first half. He threw 3 and ran for 3. So,
incredible.
Yeah, and it actually had one they underthrew in the wind, or that thing would have been out.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that as
and
well.
I was like, but you know what? He's human.
Yes. Well, you're just back-to-back county championships, and I know you guys' next goal is for districts and then to the state. So good luck, Coach Y. And like I said, you're doing a great job with the ball club.
Appreciate it very
Keep
much,
it going.
guys. Thank you for your time. If I could ever get a copy of this, love it, because I think everything went a wire tonight with the rain.
Okay, yeah, for sure. We got you.
We appreciate it, guys.
Good
Sounds
luck.
good.
Stay dry.
See you later.
That was Coach Gary Janczak joining us post-game, and we thank all our guests for jumping in here tonight. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a great night. Like I said, the cover of the game, it's time for us to get up out of here. Everybody's exiting. Big shout out to Central York. Like I said, for the last 3 years, they won the county championship, so that's a three-peat. And, like I said, they played York High. York High's right there on their heels. But, so far it has been Central York being, prevailing and getting this win. Big shout out to our player of the game, Bo Prabula.
And Joel.
6 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah, altogether.
6 or 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, with running and passing, it was just a complete game for him. And sophomore running back.
Yeah, Joel's Golf. He had a great
player of the game.
A great, a breakout game that we've been expecting for him to have, and for him to have it in the county championship is a great thing for his, his confidence and moving forward. Thanks for everybody for tuning in.
And thanks to the viewers, the sponsors, Belinda Morales in the booth.
Yep.
RB's here. Running around here as well.
Cliff Kern behind the scenes. Like I said,
great
Todd
effort.
Edwards.
Yes.
We really appreciate, everybody tuning in.
And we hope to see you in the future. Check out our Facebook page and Instagram page for a possible broadcast of a district game.
And again, as we go into the PIAA, they have some fees
associated
with some of the broadcasting. So if you want to be a sponsor or you want to see more games, you have to reach out to us, and we can kind of get the games on TV. You have to raise some money, but we're looking for sponsors, local businesses, or just a regular donation will help us out. As you can see, all our contact information for our sponsors are at the below
bottom third of the state,
lower third. So we're out of here at Central Stadium, and we're going.
Have a good night.